Just like a game night or whatever.
Fun.
Yeah. Also, your headset is coming through like real staticky.
Mine is?
It is.
Oh shit!
Right? Sounds like you're being electrocuted or something.
Troubling. Just disconnect, come back.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fairy shenanigans.
It's gotta be. There's no other reasonable explanation.
Is that better?
Hey, there we go. Much better.
Cool.
Much. Did you announce that we were gonna be delayed? By the way,
I did, yeah.
like
But no,
people said it. Like, hey, y'all canceling today? I'm like, no.
yeah, and I
We're
said
here.
over on Discord, and then I did it again over on Twitch. But I don't think Twitch shows like historical chat, which I really dislike about it. So anybody that like showed up after I made the announcement, might not have
Yeah,
seen it.
which is dumb.
It's real dumb.
And again, like I guess if they're in the gaming stream, they don't really keep that up. 'Cause there's
Yeah,
too many people watching.
I suppose it'd be nice if we could do like pinned messages or something, or maybe you can, and I just don't know because I'm an old man and I don't know how technology works.
Well, who knows?
Either way, let's get started. Neo should be on the way soon. Boy, you guys did some stuff last session. But where we left off is you guys had just spoken with the Queen, given her some gifts and some performances that went okay after a lot of buffing afterwards. It was a great plan, it just, the dice did what they did. But Gale seemed to kind of sway her especially, and Nomad 2 actually put on a really good performance. And after a little bit of sweet talk, the Queen has agreed to have dinner with you all, so that you can discuss a private matter, a mission that she might have for you, and in exchange for doing this task, she said that she might be able to help Gale with his little eyeball problem. Double check a thing. Oh, we should get inspiration real quick.
Oh, remember to do that first.
Ooh, it's a big old tie. Okay, let me see. Alright, inspiration goes to Nomad, Moat, and Flick.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll immediately use it.
Excellent. Alright, but when we left off, you guys had just left the courtroom, and it's probably, I don't know, kind of late midday, 3 or 4, so it's probably a couple hours before dinner. If there's anything that you wanted to do between now and then, the world is your oyster. People are just kind of hanging out in this court. There's still some people doing snowball fights. You can see that somebody is kind of carving an ice statue over in a tucked away corner. But apart from that, people are just kind of standing around, chatting and hanging out. It's up to you if you guys have any other business that you want to take care of before we skip to the dinner, or if you want to just go to that.
To steal?
What was that?
Is there anything to steal?
Sure. There's lots of people that you could potentially try to pickpocket or straight up mug. If you were to go into some of these buildings, you imagine that there are lots of things that you could try to pilfer. I don't know how much to entertain this question because I don't know if you're actually planning on doing it.
Do you have pictures of these buildings? Or is it just like in my head?
It's in your head. A lot of the buildings are kind of these like cozy log cabin style buildings, but they're built out of this like gleaming white wood, kind of like birch but without the spots. And you can see that almost all of them have kind of these roaring fires inside. Most of them taper up to a point, almost like almost like a wasp nest, or oh, what are those horns called? The Thanksgiving horns. There's a word for it.
Starts with a C.
Like-
The kakuna.
Can you stop talking it?
Cornucopia.
Yeah, after I said it 3 times with you going, go.
Hi, Fleek, you got inspiration. Feel free to mark that for yourself.
Oh, okay, cool.
Um,
What did I do? I don't remember what I did. Oh well.
Oh, Mr. Fisher stuff.
Oh yeah, that bastard. Forgot about him.
there was some shit.
It was also your birthday.
And it was also your birthday.
That too.
But yeah, a lot of them are kind of built in the shape of a cornucopia pointed straight up towards the sky, with smoke kind of pouring out through the tip like a chimney. And you can see that there's like a little coffee shop over in one area. There's a tailor. It sounds like there's a smith. There's some sort of a kind of an animal husbandry place off in the distance, although you don't see any signs of like a full farm or anything. It looks like this is mostly for mounts and things like that, rentals to go from place to place. So, you know, there's like a small little village here that you could potentially try to explore and steal stuff from if that's what you're wanting to do.
I'm assuming these buildings are just like engulfed in darkness.
Not really. It's, you know, it's like probably 4 in the afternoon. You don't, like, it's kind of this hazy, overcast, foggy, grayish blue. You don't have any direct sight of the sun. But, you know, it's still lit up.
Alright, I guess I'll be fine this time.
Alright. I'm so proud of all of you. I don't think...
Jubilations on your post-production flick.
What?
Christ.
Jubilations on your post-reproduction.
I think it was just production for him. I don't think he reproduced.
It's more
He
like,
was reproduced.
it's like congratulations on your parents having sex.
This too. Congratulations, your parents bred.
I don't
Christ.
think it's necessarily Flick's birthday because it was my birthday.
It's
Didn't we
Okay,
roll
this is
birthdays
for
at some
you.
point?
I think we did, maybe?
I don't remember.
I called a player by the character name in game. It's fine.
It's all over now. Nomad's gonna be executed. He's fucked up the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, I am God. The fourth wall does not exist.
Christ.
Nordo doesn't have any actual like business, but I'm gonna find somewhere like quiet to sit down and light some tobacco and draw a sketch in my sketchbook of that crazy shit we just saw on the moon.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm actually going to go look around for, I don't know, hot gossip or any news.
Excellent. Alright, let's go chronologically here. Nordo, there's a quiet spot. The courtyard and all the buildings around it are kind of crowded and busy. It's got kind of like this small town vibe, almost like when we go down to whatever the fuck it's called in Brown County. Just a bunch of quaint little shops and people out walking and talking and doing weird shit that they would never do in real life, but when you live in this magical little tiny town, you do it.
Lots of fudge shops
Oh my god, yes. There's at least like 3 candy shops that you can see all in one place.
and like leather trinkets.
Mm-hmm. They're selling just like pine cones for $40.
It's like every time there's a commercial for Christmas and people look happily walking around shopping.
Yeah.
Even though that's not how people look when they shop.
Exactly. A little bit of that vibe going on. And there is music playing. However, if you head out just a little bit to the south, not out of view of everything, but, you know, a good couple 100 feet away, down towards the stream, there's a little embankment? Is that a word? I feel like I just made that up, but it felt right.
It's a word.
Embankment.
It's a word.
Sure. Let's go with embankment. There's a little embankment next to the
I
stream.
don't know what it means though.
Like a hill. Sort of. Yeah, I might be getting to like riverbank. That might be where this is coming from. Anyway, there's a little stream and there's a hill that looks down over it. And it's frozen over and there's some people that are out either fishing or kind of skating on it. But it's quiet enough and you can kind of catch a little peace of mind. And you're able to doodle it up. Feel free to roll if you want to see how accurate it is. Meanwhile, Ace is looking for hot gossip. I guess Ace, go and give me a persuasion check to see if you can weasel your way into some conversations.
Can I make it an int-based persuasion
Um,
check because I'm a reporter?
oh boy. I feel like the first step is you have to like get in good with people so that they'll talk with you, and I think that's going to be a charisma thing.
Yeah, wouldn't that be more like stealth and then like
I could just eavesdrop on people.
I was
Yeah,
going to
so
say,
I mean,
if you want to just
you're just
eavesdrop on
gonna-
people, you could do that instead.
Yeah, I have a -2 to crit to persuasion, so
Okay, that's fair. If you're looking to just kind of eavesdrop, then you can give me either a perception check or a stealth check. One to listen from far away, and the other to get close without them realizing you're close.
do I get advantage for being small and overcast?
Overcast? Would you describe Ace as overcast?
I meant the weather.
Oh, no. Right?
Aw.
It's kind of cute that Ace really wants to be a reporter, but cannot talk to people.
I can. It's just they don't
He,
appreciate it.
he thinks he can talk to people. He's very confident.
you can get invasive. Most of the time, he speaks to Nomad, who just agrees with everything he says. It's very enabling relationship.
See, I can pick up on people. I just can't communicate. I'm just not very good at communicating back to them.
He tends to like copy what they say back. Nomad is spreading pamphlets.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second, because, God, I'm already terrified. Yeah, Ace, shit, you lucky son of a bitch. Everybody is real caught up in other things. You're able to kind of just, like, make it look like you're standing around taking in the sights, looking natural, reading a paper or whatever, reading one of these pamphlets that Nomad is handing out, whatever they happen to be. And you're able to do a little bit of eavesdropping. I guess give me, you've already done it. Let's see, what would they be discussing? There are definitely people that are kind of giving some rumors about you guys, the fact that there are some outsiders that have come in recently. They don't seem to, like they've spotted you guys coming back to town, but they've kind of lost sight of the rest of your group, including you. And they're kind of, chatting about like, oh, I wonder if they're on an adventure or what they're doing. And one was like, ooh, I give them 2 days, 2 days tops. And I was like, no, they'll be fine. I'm like, no, I saw them head down towards the Thorn Maze. Crazy, suicidal, if you ask me. But then they continue to talk. They probably talk a little bit how one of them is like, I've heard that the Court of Spring is trying to make a move. It's a bit early, don't you think? It's like, hush, you shouldn't even be talking about that here. You know what they would do to you. So you just get kind of a little bit of a sense that maybe the seasons are set where they are, but spring is trying to make an early push, and then people are kind of talking about you. There isn't a whole lot of real big news that you pick up on. Nothing too juicy. But then jumping over to Nomad, tell me about these pamphlets.
They're me pamphlets.
Okay.
Religious. It's not going very well.
No, it doesn't
You know-
seem to be.
You know how there are those dudes in the streets who handle, hey, have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Okay, just take a pamphlet. Do you want to talk? It's Nomad, so it's even worse.
You gotta
He
flick
just-
your wrist. Flick your wrist.
Yeah.
It's
Do I flick my wrist? I just kind of have them in the bundle. And they're very organized, and I hand one to anyone who passes by without explaining anything. And it's a pamphlet about, my religion.
Okay. You're just handing them out without like trying to pitch or sell. You're just trying to like give them to whoever will take it, or whoever will take one.
If they're curious, they'll read it themselves.
Okay.
I find that the mystery makes them more curious.
Sure.
And just makes them read the pamphlet. If
All
you
right.
say what the pamphlet is, why would they read it?
All right. So we're appealing to mystery and intrigue. So two
So
things.
they have to make rolls.
Right. Two things. First of all, I guess either give me performance or intimidation or persuasion.
Either.
Like any sort of charisma roll to just try to like get people to give you the time of day instead of being creeped out by you. And second, who made these?
Hey,
Okay.
I have a proficiency in this.
Excellent.
I have expertise in this, actually.
All right.
Would you like me to roll it first?
Sure. Go ahead and give me
It's pretty.
a writing check.
Calligraphy.
Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
Okay. all right.
24.
Excellent.
It's purple like my skin.
Yeah, it's probably got something real clever, like right on the front. A really good hook, something that immediately makes people curious, like, oh, what the fuck is this? Alright, and then give me just any sort of charisma roll.
Now here's the kicker. Let's try not to yell at people. So we're going to go with persuasion. Oh my gosh,
God
that's a flat
Damn
plus
it.
one. It's not even a plus one. I think what he does is literally every time someone passes by, there's a little telepathic niggling in the back of their head. Pamphlet.
Okay.
Check out the pamphlet.
So, these are pamphlets for you. Do you literally just open it up and it says, I am God, worship me? Or, like, what are you trying to sell here? What do you want people to do?
Oh, it's literally like an introduction to the holy religion of Nomad. It's got my tenets. The very first one is never skip breakfast.
Okay.
You know, next is you are God, and then I am God. We are all God.
Okay.
Live life to its fullest. Improve yourself every day. Enjoy life to the best you can.
Okay.
Break the law if necessary.
Alright.
Apologize when you break the law. You know, just random things. These are not really set in stone. He's just testing the waters.
Sure. Alright.
There's also a contact nomad for if you have feedback.
Alright.
I really hope the front of this pamphlet just says "Do not be alarmed" in plain but bold white letters. That's how you're getting people's attention.
That's literally his opening line every time he approaches someone with a pamphlet. Do not be alarmed. He offers a pamphlet.
Oh, holy shit. Okay. Well, these are two really good rolls. Yeah, lots of people. So for a little while, you're just kind of standing in the corner, handing these out to whoever will take one, and you get about the sort of response that you would expect. Some people take it. Some people just kind of wave politely and don't take it. Some people kind of sit there and they open it up and they kind of read it. Some of them look confused. Some of them look pleased and in agreement. Some of them hand it back to you. Some of it continue reading and walk on their way. But there is eventually a point where these gossips that Ace has been listening in on, it's a group of 3 satyr women, and they are satyr women a thing? They are in my world. Fuck it.
I'm sure they're a thing.
They definitely
Why
can
would
be.
they not be a thing?
I don't know. It's just
I think
occurring
they're
to me.
called something different. That's I forget what it is, but I
Yeah.
think
Fauns?
it's like incubus and succubus sort of thing. It's satyr and
Fawn?
I can hear
maybe?
fawn. Fawn makes sense. And then, I always know there's, dry... See, anytime I think satyr guy, I think dryad woman, and I know that that's not true. They're not even, close to the same
The
thing.
same.
Wikipedia says they're just called satyress.
Satyress?
Yeah, that's what I default
Satirist?
to.
Okay.
That sounds like a Satanist.
Well, they're one step closer now, because they have all come over.
They're also goats.
They realize that you're part of this adventuring party that they've been, these outsiders that they've been rumoring about, and they are intrigued. They take your pamphlets, they begin to kind of study them together. They seem intrigued by you. They ask you about, tell us some of the cool things that you've done, and what are some of your powers, and stuff like that.
We went to the moon and I am literally God.
Can you do any miracles or anything? I feel like I've seen images like you. I don't know. You're definitely not like anything that I've seen before. But come on, prove it.
Every day is a miracle.
You're right. Every day is a miracle. But you know what I mean. Can you do any magic?
Sure. It just floats. Without any components or anything. No
Ah.
spells cast. It literally just starts floating.
That's
I'm also speaking directly into your brain right now.
that's true. He has been doing that. Yeah, he sure has. All right. Well, they hang out for like 3 or 4 minutes and just kind of continue this conversation, and eventually they do each take a pamphlet for themselves, and they ask if they can take like 5 or 10 more to share with some of their friends. And then
Say sure.
they will go on their way.
I ran out of pamphlets. This was a good day.
Yeah, that was a successful trip.
As soon as Nomad runs out of pamphlets, Vasu is going to start trying to convert people to his religion. He has no pamphlets, but he's demonstrating his yoga.
Okay.
No
And he
matter
can also directly talk to one person at a time, and he can also hover. So he's doing all that.
So eventually, like 20 or 30 minutes into your thing, Nomad, just as you realize you've run out of pamphlets and everybody has kind of moved on, you look up across the street, and I imagine Vasu's just like giving you this terrible glare as he does the exact same shit that you're doing. I guess Vasu.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm hovering and also playing my. No, I shouldn't do that because last time that did not go well. I'm hovering and I'm just gonna like juggle too.
Excellent. Give your performance check. Or a
Can it be
persuasion check.
performance with? What? Sorry, what was that?
Performance or persuasion. And yeah, if it's performance, you can use Dex.
Stick.
Yeah, because you're juggling.
Yep.
This is gonna go well.
You have a +5.
My character sheet's still loading.
I'm just proud of my +0 18 persuasion. I'll take anything that happened.
With Dex, that's what, like a 15? 17?
17.
17. Okay, excellent.
You were just as charismatic as I am.
Yeah, you're getting lots of people that kind of swing by, and some of them just assume that you're kind of busking, and they applaud, and sometimes they even throw a little bit of money at you. In the short time that you're doing it, you make 6 silver pieces. But some of them also kind of like stop to talk with you. They ask about like why you're doing what you're doing, and you're able to sort of explain some of the tenets of your meditation and your rituals. Some of them are even willing to kind of like stop and try it with you. There's
Awesome.
There's one. It's an Eldrin. It looks like an autumn Eldrin. Kind of this barky skin, these brilliant green eyes, and hair that kind of resembles leaves. And you can tell that she's a little bit doing it because she's interested in it, but she's also kind of looking for the pottery scene from Ghost. She's a bit of a cougar, and she just kind of wants to. I don't know. She's using it as an excuse to like do.
So she's like doing that pose that Vasu is demonstrating, where he puts his leg behind his head, and she's just like, I just don't know if I can do this. Can you come help?
Exactly.
You grab my ankle?
Yeah, it's okay. Put your hand here. That sort of thing. But then you do also get a few people that are like genuinely interested in it for the meditation purposes. You're able to kill a good hour or two, just kind of, competing with Nomad to start a cult.
Or after the pamphlets run out, Nomad joins in this.
Perfect.
So
Excellent.
what are your tenets?
Oh, you know him already.
No, or I
Oh.
would not ask.
I'll explain them again to Nomad because I definitely have some. I just haven't thought of them out of character.
This came out of nowhere.
After a while, there is a bell that begins to ring from inside the large main building at the back of this little village. And a lot of folks just kind of carry about their business. But you do see that there's one group of very well-dressed people that starts to head up in that direction. And they mention, like, oh, it must be dinner already? Oh, it seems so early.
Ooh, dinner.
Well, I guess that's our call, huh?
Apparently. I was gonna say this earlier, but then people left to like make a cult and rob the place. But I'm really sorry you guys had to see all that earlier.
See all what?
You know, just all of me. I don't know, Butterfingers.
All of his eyes, Nomad.
Why would you apologize for that?
Because it's gross.
Nomad just puts his hands on his hips.
That ain't gross, little dragon. Either way, it's. I think we've all seen grosser, so.
Yeah.
You don't
I mean,
need to hide that sort
Remember
of thing from
Crybaby?
us.
A couple of months ago, I might have been absolutely appalled, but I think we've all seen some pretty weird shit traveling together and had some equally weird shit done to us. I think mostly we're just, or at least, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'm worried. Are you all right? Do they hurt? Do those eyes, get dry? Do you need some saline or something?
Well, I keep them closed most of the time, so they're okay. It hurts when, like their eyes, they
Yeah.
hurt if you touch them.
I was starting to bet with the others what would be under the bandages. Were they wounds? I was thinking noses.
Okay, yeah, that'd be gross. But, I mean, that's fine.
But yeah, eyes is a little worse because it's a little more sensitive. Noses at first was horrifying because you could smell stronger, and I
But you
figured
gotta admit,
many
they're
people
easier
had
to look
strange
at.
smells.
I do wish you would have just told us, little dragon. If you had a problem needed fixing, we would have helped you with it. You didn't need to hide it from us.
Well, I feel like I brought it on myself, so I felt bad burdening all of you with it.
This
Just
is
kind of exactly what I'm doing now, but
I would not call this a burden. Was this why you were so eager to meet the queen?
mostly, yeah.
To foist the curse upon someone else.
Well, not really. I just figured she'd be able to get rid of it if she was powerful.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're all in this together, so you don't need to hide those problems from us, even if you do feel like they're your own fault.
Does anyone else have anything hidden? Extra limbs, missing limbs.
There is something I've been meaning to get off of my chest, King says. I'm gay.
Wow. Never
Really?
would have thought of that.
Like, happy. Good for you.
What?
How you gonna get an heir?
Ah, never mind.
Sorry, you probably hear that enough at home.
Oh,
Why would you need an heir? And you're not right.
that's pretty good, but no, I don't like heirs or children, especially heirs. They want all your things.
I wasn't trying to make a joke there. Did I unintentionally make a bad joke that the king said was good?
Yeah, you asked how he's
I
gonna
missed
get
it.
how he's gonna get an heir, like a king would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts as. Anyway.
It wasn't meant to be a joke. Like I was, like Vasu was asking. He's a king and
Okay.
he's gay, and he's asking how you gonna have a son. And then he's like, "Oh, you probably hear that enough at home because Vasu knows what it's like telling your parents that you're gay."
Vasu, let me explain how babies work.
I know how babies work.
So we got that ring, which we can pass on to him if
No.
need be.
No, I'm not actually a king for the fourth time. This is
You're not?
no, it's just a name. You know what? Never
Yeah.
mind. You know what? I'm a king, actually. I am the king of Willingquet. I rule the land from atop my throne. I do whatever I please, which right now means going to dinner with a lot of you.
Yeah, I'm from
you were the king of
Millingquet, and
burgers.
that's 100% true. He's not lying. Nope. Just go with it.
So, Vasu, here's the thing about making babies. You do not need to love the person you're with, nor be attracted
Crazed.
to them.
Oh no.
You need only willpower and a lot of force.
And genitals, mind you.
And
Genitals too. You cannot do it without genitals. This is very important according to the book.
Voss is listening and nodding along, but he's kind of just like staring at the king for a long minute, and then it clicks, and he's like, "Hey, wait a minute! You're not really a king, are you? What kind of king would be traveling around without any bodyguards at all? This is ridiculous."
My God. Yes, you've caught me. I'm not really a king.
Ace very sarcastically gasps. But it's like it sounds like a crowd gasping because I could do that.
He's heard this so many times. Meanwhile, Gale over there like, what am I, chopped liver, Vasu?
Right.
Quick question for you, Feck.
Yo,
Or not question. So during our travels this way, I have attuned to the monocle.
all right.
What does King look like with my true sight?
With the true sight, he looks like a kind of pale, light purple skin, very smooth. You can see lots of veins running right beneath the surface of the skin that has this kind of like rubbery texture to it that looks partially translucent. You can actually see muscles and sinew beneath the skin and through it. He's got these beady little kind of all white eyes that just have a tiny prick of an iris right in the center. So small that it looks like his entire eye is just white. His face, apart from the eyes, is basically just smoothed over. There's two tiny little nostrils. And when he speaks, you can see that there are like melty, gooey strands that kind of shape and stretch where his mouth would be if he had one. It's actually a little unclear how he's able to make noises. But alas, he does. You're able to see that he does just look like a changeling underneath all of it.
Question: is he actually wearing clothes, or is his clothes part of his transfer? Is he just like standing there in the buff?
Oh, yeah.
Well, whatever buff he has.
Yep, completely. The clothes is all illusory. Or illusory.
Do you get cold being naked?
Tremendously, yes. Very, very often.
Why don't you just wear clothes?
Oh, because I'm an exhibitionist.
Oh, well, you're doing a good job. I can see everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have really tiny pupils. I like squint and like look at his pupils.
Not the
from
direction
being
I thought that was
tall.
going, but I appreciate it.
Does he have genitals?
Oh boy.
Smooth spot.
Don't make me answer that. Hang on.
You have
Hey,
whatever.
he said he was. He
I
said he
like-
was an exhibitionist. So
I like to imagine the king answered that.
Yes, the king answered with that. Shit. We're gonna
He's
go with
not sure.
we're gonna go with no, not currently. Yeah, let's
then
go
how
with
do you?
it.
Take it.
Then how? Wait. Then how do shapeshifters reproduce then?
Ah, so
Uh,
that's why you don't have an heir.
Give me an Arcana check.
Also, I'm the only person who can see it. I'm not gonna out him like that. That's rude.
Oh, you're using your thing. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I have my monocle that gives me true sight.
You don't know.
You said magnifying glass. I imagine you took your magnifying glass out and peered right into his crotch. And
No,
then-
no. It's a monocle. It's a monocle, not a magnifying glass.
No, but you have a magnifying glass with no lens in it, and you use it to examine things. So I imagine that's what you took
Yeah.
out.
Ace is
I
the
have a
exact.
magnifying glass now that has an actual glass in it.
Yeah,
I've upgraded.
He's the perfect height to just walk up and hold it and be like right at eye level too. So he's just like staring at King's crotch through this magnifying glass.
I don't know. This is insulting.
Does he have a butt
But-
crack?
Hey,
Does he have nipples?
I need answers.
No to either. It is kind of just this smooth, rubbery skin suit sort of look. At least currently.
Interesting. When I was talking to the Fey Queen, did she look like what she looked like to everyone else?
Yeah. You could tell that there were a lot of things in there that were just illusory. A lot of lights, a lot of, even some of them, well, I guess you wouldn't be able to see musical illusions because it's just true sight. But, you know, they're using some illusions to kind of spice the place up a little bit. But the queen looked like herself. She did not appear to be using any sort of disguise.
Gotcha. I will remind you periodically that I have this in case we ever run into things that
Yeah.
aren't themselves.
Absolutely. Definitely remind me because I will forget. I will slowly try to remember that is a thing that you passively have. And let me know if you ever...
Also,
get
can
to it
you
from it.
give me the item? Because I don't have the item currently
Oh.
in my list.
I sure can. So you guys were kind of just keeping the brush and party loot. There we go. And then Flick has the ship.
Wait, never mind. Wait, so since I have True Sight, does that mean I can see invisible things too?
I think so. Pretty sure.
Nothing can escape me.
Yeah, True Sight's really good.
Thank you, Feck, for this wonderful item.
Do we still have the Chaos Sprig even after we got to the Tree Roll Seasons meet?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure it's inside this bag of holding. Maybe?
I just saw we had it here in Party Loot, and I thought that it was like used up by doing that ritual.
Nah, we just have it on the. Had to have it on the ship.
Perfect.
We haven't really used it much at all, ever.
All right. Either way, you guys, unless you have any other business that you wanted to do during those couple of hours there, it sounds like everybody got their stuff done. Cool. Then you guys make your way up towards this large building, where you were kind of ushered along by this satyr, who has been working as kind of a liaison / butler, into a large dining hall, where there are 3 wooden tables that are kind of stretched out in front of a kind of stage with a throne and a table in front of the throne. And you can see that it is fairly but not entirely populated. There's probably a good 40 or 50 people in here, including you guys, so only about, I don't know, 35, 40 strangers. Wait, more than that, math is hard. Anyway, something in that ballpark. And everybody just kind of takes their seats. You're shown to a spot near the front, near the throne, where your spots have been marked. And they ask you to take a seat and to simply relax and wait and enjoy yourself. Help yourself to as much food and drink as you would like. And after about 10 minutes or so of just kind of sitting around, they do eventually start to bring food out to the tables, and it is just this smorgasbord of all sorts of delicious and bizarre and exotic food. They have some things that you recognize, some like game, some duck and quail and rabbit. As well as a lot of things that you just straight up don't recognize. It is very plant heavy. There's a lot of kind of pies and baked goods and fruits and vegetables that you don't recognize. But it's all very, very, very delicious. A lot of it is very sweet, but there are some savory things as well. Nordo, you have good enough insight. When you ring the bell, you are attended to almost immediately. Somebody always runs over and asks what you would like. But about the second or third time that you do it, you have good enough passive insight to realize that they are annoyed by it. They're doing it because they have to, but it is rubbing some of them the wrong way.
Once I realize that, like, ringing it causes someone to come over, I'll stop doing it until I actually need something.
Gotcha.
Or because he thinks it's something you're supposed to do and you, like, enter a fancy place.
Perfect. After you do it the first time, this woman, she looks tabaxi at first, but she's more... Honestly, she looks more like just a straight-up awakened cat than anything else. But some of the proportions and features are a bit long. But she leans over and says, "Oh, that is a clever idea. You can bring the help over any time that you like. I really should get me one of those."
Oh, yeah, it was, I don't know a whole lot about putting on airs, nothing like that, but found this at a real fancy hotel. They had pools for sleeping in there.
Pools for sleeping in? Bizarre, where are you from? You look like you're not from around here.
No, afraid not. I'm from Melnoa. It's a little island. I think it's on a different plane or world, maybe.
From another world? Oh, how quaint. And she kind of like backs up, and she whispers to the man sitting next to him, "I think this one is a little out of his mind." It goes back to eating her food.
Do I hear that whisper?
You've got real good passive perception, and also she was kind of trying to do it like, as a snob thing. She's kind of a terrible person, you get the impression.
Got it. I don't say anything.
Okay. Eventually, as everybody is kind of beginning to enjoy all of this food, there is an announcement. Some music and fanfare begins to play, and then the satyr steps onto the stage and welcomes to her seat the queen, and everybody stands and kind of bows before her when she walks in. And she eventually makes her way over to her chair and then motions gracefully for everybody to sit down. Please relax, enjoy your food, partake as much as you would like. Be sure to try the cherry wine. And then kind of has her seat and starts to eat her meal as well. But eventually, when all of this is over, and after maybe a good 20 or 30 minutes, and everybody has kind of gone through 4 different courses and several desserts, it's actually much longer than 20 or 30 minutes. It's like an hour and a half long ordeal to eat a royal banquet in the Feywilds. There's a lot of bizarre fanfare involved.
Yes, they're like, I don't know how to pronounce this, foie gras,
Oh, absolutely.
but brains.
They have head cheese, probably.
Boy.
Really, really fancy head cheese.
Gross.
Hey, while we're talking about gross parts of animals that people eat, I was at the Oriental store the other day, and I was looking through the freezer section, and I saw pork rectum.
Weird. Huh.
Yeah. I wonder what that tastes like.
Some people really like eating ass.
Yeah, I guess.
Gross.
I was
Stop
surprised at the size of it, though.
So gross.
Fucking God. Anyway, Brain is not on the menu. It's okay.
For that.
Brain is not on the menu today, but there are like entire creatures of small size that probably have brains in them if you wanted to just fish out the brains. You know, weird little animals. There's this...
Okay, not like pixies as usual.
No, it's not like pixies this time, although there are some pixies that are like doing chores and kind of delivering silverware and stuff like that. But for instance, one of the dishes, they bring out this big platter, and when they first reveal it, it looks like a bunch of pine cones, but then somebody kind of like grabs one and begins to crack it open down the middle and then split the shell off, and you realize that it's some sort of like weird steamed shelled creature. It almost looks like a forest shrimp or something like that. But inside there's this like fine white meat, and just like a shrimp or a lobster, he kind of pulls the meat out and dips it in butter. But eventually, when all of this ordeal is said and done, everybody kind of clears the tables off, and people just begin to chat amongst themselves and continue to drink and kind of slowly make their way through dessert. But the satyr does approach and says, if you all don't mind, the queen would like to invite you to join her at a table to discuss a private affair with her. And kind of motions for you all to join him up onto the stage and take seats around the table with the queen at her table. Eventually. Or so good.
I'll follow with them.
Cool. Eventually, once you guys get seated, she says, thank you all for coming back. I know you're probably very eager to return to your own plane, and I appreciate that you're taking some time to look into this matter for me. I promise I can make it worth your while. I'll keep things short. There is a bell. Oh yeah, Ace, what's up? You're lighting up, but I don't hear
I see
you.
you keying up, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, is your headset on?
Oh, sorry, I had the mic up. As she starts talking, I activate the Watcher's monocle, so that for the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna observe her narrative account and can tell if there's any inaccuracies in anything she says.
Excellent. Okay. Huh. All right. Well, I'll keep things very quick and direct. There's a bell of great importance to me. It's not magical or special or anything like that, but it's a family heirloom. And it has been handed down in the Queen of Winter for generations now, thousands of years. During the last seasonal concession, the Court of Fall sought to have it stolen from me as a sign of power and to retain a little more of their control over the seasons for longer than the whims of nature and fancy decided was appropriate. We ended up winning, and of course it is now winter, as you can see before you, but I have still not retrieved that bell. It has been taken by a trio of hags. They have always been a bit of a nuisance, and unfortunately, I have arrangements with them that prohibit me from dealing with the matter directly, or with any forces within my court. Tricky business, politics. With that said, there's no rule or geas preventing me from sending outsiders to deal with the situation for me. And if you were to retrieve that bell from their abode, and frankly, if they were to all end up dead, that wouldn't be the worst thing either. But if you have to choose between killing them or simply returning the bell, all I need is the bell. It's bright silver, it has a pair of sapphires, one on each side, you can't miss it. It's very valuable, and I'm sure they're holding on to it as a prized trophy. I can give you directions to their swamp where they make their fetid abode, and, well, if you bring it back, I will fix you, and she looks down to Gale. I will take that curse upon myself and my court, and you should be cleansed. I don't know how you originally got the curse. If you continue to do whatever it was, I can make no promise that you'll be protected from it any further, but I can at least undo what's been done.
Hint, says Nomad out loud.
Shut up, Nomad.
I am curious. Your friend gave me a journal of many of your adventures, and I admit it was actually well written and quite intriguing. Have you considered simply giving the gold back?
No. I need it.
Well, that is acceptable. Well, then in the interest in
It's not
strategy...
like I was doing anything.
It seemed to simply be gathering dust in an old temple. I agree with you. I don't have much favor with the gods, and frankly, I think the Fae are better. But they are distant, and we are here, and it's easy to say that from the safety of my high throne. For mortals like you, I suppose it's not such an easy decision. However, the reason I ask is because, in terms of pure strategy, perhaps it might be best to put that gold to use before having this curse removed, just because I can lift it all at once, but once it's lifted, it won't prevent new things. What I'm trying to say is that if you're willing to part with some of this cursed gold for anything valuable that I might be able to offer you, then I have no doubt you'll take on further court curses, but then I'll be able to lift the curse as soon as you return with my bell.
I see. So it's your understanding of this curse is that it triggers when I buy stuff and give it away.
It's as well as I can deduce. Bast is a goddess of change, and she has been for tens of thousands of years, but she changes in a reactionary way. It's not like Jujak, where the changes are wrought with intention and purpose. It is more just the whims of chaos. Whatever you do will be amplified. I don't know what you did to put eyes all over yourself, but I assume it had something to do with seeing, or sight, or learning, knowledge. I know the eye is a symbol of insight. These are just guesses, I should clarify. I have a good deal of religious study under my belt, but I am not on close terms with Bast, or any of the gods for that matter.
That doesn't totally track with my understanding of what happened, but so if I say I gave you this gold and then you gave some of it away, would you get cursed?
Oh, almost certainly. The trick is that I don't plan to give any of it away.
Oh no.
Why do you ask?
Well, that's going to be a problem for another day.
Nomad slams his fist on the table. Humor, he says. Sorry, I can't laugh properly.
You've given this gold to others, haven't you?
Many.
Well,
See, I gave my part away. Nothing happened to me.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, what did you use with what did you do with your parts?
Give it to Gil. I don't
I'm pretty sure I gave it to Gale to give it to the person that he's worried about having it.
Have you noticed any bizarre changes since you've given it back to Gale?
No.
Well,
We're attacked by a demon. Does that help?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was from before the gold. I'm 90% sure that's from before the gold.
This was very recent.
I mean, the motions that brought that to happen started before that. You know, when I pissed off. Is she a god? Yeah, she's a god.
Is she a god?
Well, she's more of a
Mm.
demon thing. I don't know.
We have interesting connections, Nomad just says to the queen.
I've noticed. I've certainly read of some of your escapades. Well, like I
You
said,
might be surprised to hear that I haven't pissed off any gods.
On the subject of our dealings, you're talking about us going and killing this trio of hags. I don't know what sort of impression we give them, but we ain't in the business of killing old ladies, really. Mostly monsters and such.
Oh, to be clear, these old ladies, they may take on the appearance of old ladies, but these are fey monstrosities. These are beasts. These are terrible creatures. Intelligent, but ultimately unscrupulous and selfish, and not the sort of creatures that I would like to employ or have within my kingdom. They are no better than the dragons of your world, I suppose is one way to put it. You
I know
consider
about
them-
hags.
You could give me an Arcana check or a History check. You'd learn different things, folk tales instead.
Sure.
Arcana will tell you what is, and History will tell you what people think. With the 27, you would know that hags tend to be very selfishly motivated fey creatures that are almost always capable of shapeshifting, usually capable of illusions and charms. You would know that they are typically very, very strong, in addition to being competent spellcasters. They are usually too selfish to work with others, but occasionally they form bonds known as covens of three. So yeah, you would know how a coven works, and the fact that when they're all together, as long as they remain close together, they can kind of have a heightened ability to cast magic. You would know that hags have an uncanny knack for being able to pull the soul and essence out of organic creatures and their parts and convert it into magic. They're capable of making potions and even occasionally items, although they're often cursed, from the parts of creatures, the way that somebody might normally use magic stones to make a magical item. They can do it using essentially shards of a dead creature's soul. And for that purpose, they are almost universally reviled as evil. Just because the destruction of a soul is kind of a universal, hey, maybe don't do that. In fact, not even the denizens of hell like it when you destroy a soul, because they want those souls for themselves.
Gotcha. So when they use souls to make items, those are definitely destroyed. Because we currently have a soul of a larva queen, and that's not destroyed, right? That's active in the ship.
What's your religion? Give me a religion check.
Okay. I am God.
You are God. Holy shit. Your understanding, and you've sort of almost experienced this firsthand, which is a huge part of why you can know it so confidently. Souls cannot ever be destroyed for any reason. They can be split into pieces, they can be moved, they can be transformed, they can be enlarged, but they can never be reduced and they can never be destroyed. They are essentially the incarnation of sympathy, of purpose, of meaning. And the more purpose and meaning that has become attached to a thing, an animate thing, the more soul it develops. and once created, it cannot be uncreated. So you imagine that when a portion of a soul is taken and used to fuel the creation of a magical item, it's simply being taken. It is not being destroyed or consumed.
Gotcha. So this seems evil, but really it's reversible in some way, just not easily.
With a 33 in religion, you would also know that it is much, 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 much easier to rip a soul apart than to put it back together. So much easier that from a mortal perspective, putting pieces of a soul back together is impossible. It is typically
Good
something.
thing I'm a god.
It is typically something that is only done by gods, and even then, with a natural 20 and a 33 in religion, you have never heard of any cases of a soul being like reunified or put back together. Yeah.
This just
at least
means
in your
I'll be the
experience.
first. That's okay. It just means I will be the pioneer in soul fixing.
Yep.
I guess. But also, what do you mean by enlarged? As in prostate?
By and
When the
large,
soul gets enlarged?
not quite.
Why was prostate your
Right.
go-to there?
So many
with
things.
that?
Balloon, for example.
Enlarged prostate because that's a problem, right? When the soul gets enlarged, is it because it's a negative thing?
God.
Like
No.
it's swelling?
No. So typically, when a soul grows, what that means is that it is becoming more important or more meaning, or there's more sympathy that has been built with it. For instance...
Okay, when you say grow, that makes more
Think soul
sense.
eaters.
Yeah.
You
The
said
bigger the soul, the
enlarged.
better.
I thought it just got bigger.
Yeah. No, enlarged was probably the wrong choice there. Grow.
There you go.
They
That's
can
what I
grow.
was curious about. So a soul can grow and become stronger.
Yeah. For instance, when a cat has a litter of 30 kittens, that's unrealistic. Let's go with 5 instead. That's a number of kittens that a cat can have.
Hey.
When a cat has 5 kittens and the runt dies, there's a tiny little mote of a tiny little soul that goes with that runt because it meant a little bit to its mama kitten. But when one of the other cats grows up and it finds an adoptive family and that family learns to love and cherish that cat, it starts to mean something to more people. And as it starts to mean something to more people and to itself as it develops sentience and awareness, its soul grows into a larger and more important and meaningful soul.
I see.
But
And then
never
even-
as large or important as any dog, because they're just better animals that people love.
Well, you see, the love of something that doesn't love everyone is worth more than the love of something that loves everything by default. So cats are actually superior. Love means nothing.
That
if you love
sounds
everyone.
unhealthy. That sounds unhealthy, but okay. Also, quantifying love like that. So this means that orphans are actually worthless, soul-wise.
How
and
are we
should
back
not
to
be used
nomad
to sacrifice.
orphans?
Listen, I'm just saying, if no one wants the orphan, that means they have very small souls and are useless in experiment.
So if you hate your,
Wait,
so that also
oh.
means that if you have no self-worth and you hate yourself, that your soul's not worth very much.
I imagine.
that by the letter of how souls work with a natural 33 in religion, that is technically correct. The more people that care for and cherish a person, the stronger and more vital their soul is.
This
I-
explains why gods who are worshipped become stronger.
I desperately need our accounting and valuation of all things book from the other campaign now.
Yes.
Need to know whose souls are worth the most.
I'm going to start quantifying people's worth by their soul power. So it's- this is great.
It is worth mentioning, and I feel obligated to say this because I don't want to give the wrong impression here. There are gods in this universe, and very literally and really, those gods tend to care for all of the sentient creatures that live within their domain. And a good portion of what makes a sentient creature's soul valuable is the fact that the gods care about them. Whether they are, hard on themselves or an orphan or whatever.
Gotcha. So if a god stops caring about an orphan, they just stop existing.
They wouldn't stop existing.
I'm assuming that relates fairly well with Corlin.
Yes, this is actually one of the reasons. Okay, you rolled a natural 33, so I can finally explain some of these things. Noed would understand that when a soul is damaged or incomplete, that typically manifests as damage to a sense or to a faculty. People with damaged or shattered souls often lose one of their senses, lose the ability to speak coherently, sometimes lose the ability to understand language or to speak at all, things like that. Corlin's creatures were built with, to put it frankly, underdeveloped souls because the god that was responsible for caring for them didn't. And as a result, that Kenku are unable to kind of process individual creativity. They are often unable to speak their own voices. This is a big part of why Kuatoa tend to be very like monolinguistic, kind of unintelligent. They typically have very poor senses of touch. It kind
Yet
of explains.
Kuatoa can make gods.
Yeah, Kuatoa are a weird and creepy thing, and they're weird. But yeah. A big part of why the Kenku are cursed is because the god that was dedicated to caring for their souls didn't. So they have, to put it lightly, but realistically, less developed souls than some other sentient species. This is
fine. My takeaway from this is handicapped people have less soul than
no, that
normal.
is exactly what I'm trying to avoid here.
Gotcha.
I really hope this isn't coming across like that, because
It's
that is not
not.
the intent here.
This is just Nomad trying to piece things together.
Yeah,
It's like, oh no, this probably isn't the case because you could chop someone's arm off and they still have the same soul. It's whether they love themselves after that matters.
right. Yeah.
Nomad realizes I should stop eating evil brains.
Very, very explicitly, that is not what I'm saying.
It's okay. He rolled a 33, so he understands that much. Because
Anyway,
he looks over at Gale and is like,
as I was saying, back in the Orc tribe, when they talked about hags, they were mostly talking about the women back in the tribe that would nag on them whenever they got back from a hunt or something.
Oh, yes, a colloquial term in Common and Orcish and a few other languages, yeah. The word does originate from these terrible creatures, but these are, in fact, real monsters.
Well understood. We're in the business of killing real monsters when we need to. He said you could help little dragon with his eyeball problem. You're also going to be able to get us safely back to the chew raw season's meat and hopefully not have too much time pass in the meantime.
Of course, in fact, I've already given you my blessing for that, but I can give it again just to reassure you before you were to pass through. But with my existing blessing and with my renewed blessing, you will be able to return to the tree without any dilation of time. And in fact, it should extend beyond that if you were to leave the tree and head back to your own plane entirely. I'm sure it's been explained that it is more of a doorway than anything else. But you should return at roughly the same time that you entered.
Well, it sounds just spectacular. How far off are these hags?
No more than perhaps 2 days' travel.
that sounds like 2 days of sleep. I accept.
So yeah, I'm not crazy about the idea of spending 2 days on it, but doesn't matter if time ain't gonna pass when we get out of here anyway, so seems like a perfectly fair trade to me.
And I've heard a
It's
story
true.
of a great champion who needed to practice for some battle, some great fight in a coliseum. And so he came to the Feywild for 100 years to train and strengthen his muscles before he went to the battle. I don't remember how that story ended.
Dragon Sphere X. Yes, very popular.
Wait, is that out of character? Is that also a Dragon Ball thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
the hyperbolic time chamber.
well, shit.
It's a big plot point for many of the
It-
first seasons and the big bads that they train to fight before they just forget it exists.
It's okay. Anime has lots of it in general.
Perfect. Good.
Like I think they bring it up for every saga. Like, do they do it? Do they train in that? I'm nerding out. I'm sorry. I just
I think the
It
main
bugs
difference
me
is that they actually age in the hyper time chamber,
Right.
and the Feywilds you don't.
Oh no, you will in fact age
You
here.
will.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah. You
Just
age.
imagining some-
Time goes by.
Many
what
of
was
the
he?
many of the creatures native to this plane, especially as they become more powerful, have very, very long lifespans compared to you planar mortals. But we do age, and everything ages here.
So,
Yeah.
how much of how much accuracy did everything she tell me have?
From her story, you get the sense that it is almost entirely accurate. You would get the sense that there is probably maybe a 2 to 3% inaccuracy to it. And notably, when you get a number that low, it means like it doesn't mean 2 to 3% of the words were wrong, because that could be a really, really big lie. If it was just a one word changed, it could still be a really big lie. You get the sense that it's just 2 or 3% of the context or the meaning of her message. In other words, she just maybe dressed some things up a little bit.
Exaggerated or something.
It's also possible, like, when you're telling someone facts and you just sort of use your own words, you're trying to tell the truth.
Telephone.
Like when you say enlarge
know.
instead of grow,
Like when you
Yeah.
tell a story and someone tries to tell that same story to somebody else, and you do it like 10
Yeah.
times in a row and make a web series out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Material.
when she mentioned all of like Gail's curse and how she feels about that, did Ace's monocle pick up on any indiscrepancies with that?
No, it would include that message. Ace, you get the impression that she seems to know what she's talking about. She seems well studied. She did clarify that a lot of it was just guesswork, but she seems well studied and wasn't lying, at least. And not even that she wasn't lying. What she told you seemed like a factual account.
Oh.
Yeah, like the monocle doesn't tell me whether she's lying. It tells her whether it's like actually an accurate fact,
That's a
which is nice.
really good item, yeah.
I can do it once for a short rest.
Not bad.
Is that once per short?
Yeah, you made it once for a short rest, my dude, and then true sight's always on.
Oh shit. Okay.
If you need to nerf it,
Oh,
I'll
no.
be sad.
We'll see how it
but-
goes. I thought that was a once per long, but let's roll with it. Let's see how it goes.
Can we cheese it? Like, can I look at Ace and be like, the Wandering Sun is over Willingquet? And
Yeah.
he'll be like, that's 100% not true.
Yeah, that's
Even
exactly.
though I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
That is exactly why I put a limit on it, is because it basically
Ooh,
serves
boy.
as a divination spell.
Holy heck.
Yeah, I've already thought this through. Don't worry, guys. I thought about ways to abuse this item.
Oh, that's a huge deal.
We can just yell random things at it and it'll tell us.
Also,
if it's true or
I could also, like, if you're not sure if Leah is the Storm Hand, we could just be like, Leah's the Storm Hand, and we can find out whether it's true or not.
not. Oh,
Yeah, Leah ain't the Storm Hand.
we're already certain of that.
Okay, but
We'll
how
find
do
out
we,
later.
How do we take that monocle and combine it with that key to just break this campaign?
Life finds a way.
Don't
Like,
forget
how do
to
we
add
how do we life
Skyrite.
hack these two together?
It'll involve Skyrite, definitely.
Obviously.
For sure. We skywrite an account in the air, and Ace looks at it through the monocle.
Gotta get some enlarge reduce in there too.
Right.
Yeah.
We can enlarge the monocle, and then it can contain like a 60-minute story instead.
Or if you enlarge the key, you make a bigger door.
Or just make me bigger with it, and then I can be a giant Kinku. Actually, I think I would just be
I
normal
can already
size.
do that.
Medium-sized Kenku.
Yeah, I suppose we better maybe rest here for the evening and then set out in the morning.
Yes, we should check out the shops here. We now have some money to spend.
What is today?
Oh my god. Who knows, man? It's the fucking Feywild.
Okay, I only asked for I guess, how long ago was the last long rest we had?
Today is summer.
Didn't we like leave on this journey the day that on the long rest? was?
I feel
Yes,
like that, yeah.
accurate. So that would make it pseudo Sunday night.
Yeah.
And the material, last we knew, was Tuesday, right?
I think that's right.
That's because it was Harvest Moon Day, yeah, so it was Tuesday. And then, yeah, we stayed at the tree for long enough to get the equivalent of a long rest. We have no idea how much time that actually was.
The only reason I ask is I still have my speak with the city. We can ask the city some questions if anyone has any questions for this city.
This city.
The city will also
Yeah.
know. Oh, that would be really nice to have the monocle with the city. I'll do that
Yeah,
next
even
time.
better.
Because it goes off of what people know. So
Yeah. If you take a short rest, I guess you can use the monocle in the city again. Or we could, and then we, since it's 2 days to the hags anyway, you could use it in the hags again later if we decide to question them. Friend Nordo, if you still have reservations for killing these hags, know that they are known for splintering souls. This is something not easily done. Even when I say eat a brain, it leaves the soul intact.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about souls or nothing, but if you think it's all right for a no man, I trust you.
It nods.
Subject of shopping, though, I don't know how much money is worth, but one of y'all know how much it might cost to hire somebody to fly us from True Raw Season's meet back to Salt Bowl?
I don't know the rates. Flick, do you know?
where's our ship?
To
Flick,
the True
would,
Raw Season.
Flick would definitely know. He's not his computer currently, but let me have him roll a thing.
He's here. Or is he just not? He's
He's
AFK.
in
Did
the
he
office
beat your-
currently. He's talking to Sochi about something.
Dang it, Flick.
Let's see, where were you guys? You guys were all the way over.
The God Shell / Melnoa, sort of.
Oh, that's a real long trip. Okay. About your ship, moving about 5-ish, over dangerous terrain.
With like 40 kobolds and a bunch of cargo.
Do we still have 40 kobolds on?
It's not 40. We left
That
a lot
seems
of it
like a
back with
lot.
Jack.
I think we have like 8. We have like 8 left.
We got Leo, Marvel, and then the couple of sorcerers that
Yeah, and
you
then
guys wanted to keep.
we've got Cal and Eddie and a couple other random NPCs, but Elise and
The
Ian.
Lees.
Which one's Cal? Shoe.
Cal's my work buddy. My brother.
Right.
And Ace. Do we have Ace's work buddy with us still?
Nope, we dropped
No,
him
he
off.
took off.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he took
That-
the boat with the other orcs back to Tramus / whoever
Hope
base
it's
comes
okay.
Okay, so this is going to be difficult to answer because you don't know where all of these other ships would pop out in the world. It's reasonable to think that they could have popped in from anywhere in the world and therefore might pop out anywhere in the world. So you'd have to just ask around and see where people popped in from. Based on the ships that he saw... oh boy, I'm going to make him roll for it real quick.
I assumed, and therefore so does Nordo, that the Tree Roll Season's meet is actually like in a place on the material plane and just it was like hidden until we did that ritual. Like I assumed where we were on the map is actually like where the Tree Roll Seasons meets is. Now I know.
Yeah. So Flick would get the impression, first of all, that many of the ships, including the airships that he saw at the Tree Roll Seasons meet, were probably not from the material plane just because of their bizarre designs. He didn't recognize them from anywhere in the Willingquet, Rajbiata, and Eisenmeyer regions. So a lot of them probably aren't from the material plane in the first place, which is reinforced by the fact that most of the people there you saw were from the Feywilds and not from the material plane. So you would have to go back, you'd have to find somebody who came from material plane, figure out where they came in from, and then hitch a ride back with them. The most likely thing to have happened, as far as Flick can guess, is that somebody near Willingquet would have done it, and then you would pop out near Willingquet. They might be able to, they might be willing to do that for pretty cheap, maybe something on the order of, I don't know, 100 gold, something like that, maybe if it's just a very short hop. But then asking them to sail you over into dangerous Ajabiata territory could be much more expensive. Something on the order of, 500 to 2,000 gold, just because that is an extremely dangerous journey that they wouldn't normally make. Best case scenario is you find somebody who is from the Salt Bowl region, popped in here, and then popped out. But that feels unlikely to him, and he didn't remember seeing any ships that looked like Orcish or Goblin in Make or Knoll or anything like that. So, kind of a crapshoot. Hard to say.
Okay, cool. Dodo kind of starts like thumbing through his coins and realizes that he does not have that much.
It's only because we haven't split the platinum yet.
I thought we did. Did we not?
I mean, according to the queen, I gotta get rid of this gold, so
Oh yeah. By giving it.
That wasn't exactly what I took from that. I thought we were supposed to not get rid of it unless we wanted somebody else to get cursed.
I thought my takeaway was like, she was asking for you to use the gold on her, but she wasn't going to use it on someone else. Right?
Correct. If you were to pay me for some service now, then when I clear the curse from you after you've completed this job for me, the gold would have already changed hands, and I believe, if my understanding of the curse is correct, that you'd be free of it, and, it wouldn't be an issue.
Message Gale. Just feel like, I don't know, man. I think she just wants your gold. That sounds a little too easy to me.
I agree, but I also don't want to take the chance.
No, Matt, out loud, it's just, that sounds like a good deal. Paying her for a service.
Well, okay, this is gonna sound terrible, but I'll own it. As long as I get rid of the gold before being cured of this curse, I won't get cursed again. Is my takeaway. Doesn't really matter who I give the gold away to.
She does chime in and says, and it would honestly just sit in my vault, adding to my wealth, my hoard of amassed gold, and it would sit at the bottom, so it was never actually spent. It simply pads my coffers.
You could always give it to an enemy.
I had certainly considered it. I'd have to be cautious.
Yeah, I already made that mistake.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to repeat that mistake. On the bright side, whoever your enemy is, I'm sure they've spent it on something else too.
Oh my. Ace, look at me.
Yes.
Our friends back with Joker are 100% fine. He says, "What? How much of that is factual?"
It's no longer active, I'm pretty sure. Also, I'm pretty sure I can only use it on one account, I'm assuming.
A one account. I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was
says
active
you can
for
spend
a
it to study
minute.
any painting, song, narrated account, or written story. So I think you can only do
Gotcha.
it on one. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense.
Otherwise, for 10 minutes, I'd be like, everyone just start screaming at me now. And then, like,
We will need to like write down some questions. I guess it will help. But yeah, what's the next plan? Shall we split our platinum? Will you? Well, my takeaway here is you're gonna pay her for a service and not exactly just give the gold away.
Yeah.
And like, I think she has a lot of services that
Yeah,
we could
I'm
benefit
trying to
from.
think of what is most beneficial at the moment.
Anything you'd recommend, Johannes?
Well, you had mentioned needing to get somewhere very quickly. I could potentially provide you all with a transport to wherever it is that you're going in a very well-stocked and well-armed ship, capable of traversing the dangerous seas of your plane. That would be a hefty service, but I would be willing to sell it.
Um,
Trouble is, we still need to get back to the Tree Royal Seasons meeting and gather up our friends and things. Would your ship be able to do that too?
I could have the ship sent to the tree, and then from the tree to your plane, and then from your plane to whatever this city is that you're going to.
do you have any really compact prismatic stones?
I certainly may. How much are you looking to spend?
How much do you have? A lot.
I God, where did I write this down? Yeah, here's the regret.
Here it
number.
is. Here's where you get away scot free with this.
Yep.
387,000 gold. Flick spent. No, Flick has 59,230. Okay. Alright. Boy, that's an expensive stone. Oh. Oh boy.
Oh, did you find the amount that I got?
Yes. I need to subtract how many? Okay, you have. There were what? 69 total kobolds, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
69, nice.
Okay, so I believe that is your remaining gold balance.
Sounds about right. It was in the multiple billions of US dollars.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Yeah, no one questioned this.
Nope.
Yeah, so that's about
What did-
$29 million. Okay. Compact prismatic stones. Gail, give me a luck check.
Luck. It's a +2.
Yeah, man. I got my stone of good luck back.
Everyone, in case anyone doesn't see that message in Roll20, add 123 platinum and 2 gold. That's the split from the moon, and I'm going to take it out of party loot.
Thank you.
Back if you can add that for Moat.
I'm sorry, 123 platinum?
Correct. So
Yep.
1,232 gold total. Or 123 platinum, 2 gold.
Oh, this feels wonderful.
And you guys didn't want to go to the moon.
Bossy looks at the huge pile of money you've just pushed over to him, and he's like, all right. Now, like, we didn't, this isn't from any tomb or nothing, right? We didn't
No,
steal
it's
this from
not
any
current.
temples.
It's
mean,
from the
technically.
vault of a dead. Yeah, it is from the vault of a dead Fey Lord or
I mean,
whatever.
if they're dead, though, right? Like, not the kind of dead that they
Pretty
can
sure.
seek, like, vengeance?
Oh, the souls remain,
Probably.
Vasu. Souls never die. You've
Yeah, but they're like,
established-
on the moon and also on a different plane, right? Like, they're not going to be able to.
Oh
like,
no, the
Oh,
moon is the
come at-
material plane.
So that
But the
platinum
moon's
is,
like real far away. Like, they're not going to be able to come after us, right?
that platinum is 100%
powerful
cursed.
magic.
If you want, I can hold on to it for you, so you don't get cursed.
I'm already cursed if people want to just dump all of their curses.
You know, I'll probably take my chances with the cursed platinum, thanks. I mean, it
I can
was
roll for
my
deception
job
if-
that got us up there, so if you want to give me this because I'm the reason you have it in the first place. I
Yeah,
mean,
but we also like helped you be alive, so
okay, if you're gonna rub that in my face for the rest of my life, then fine.
We'll solve the problems
Vasu
with
looks-
you.
Vasu looks around at everybody and he's like, all right, if this was as dangerous as you was all making it out to be, probably only Gale would be willing to take it off my hands so eagerly like that. So I'm just going to hold on to this. And he calmly shovels it all into his bag of holding, and then he takes a deep breath, and then he goes, I'm rich!
Your funeral. Do you want some of this gold too?
Some of what gold?
Do not take that gold, Vasu.
Is that the Bast gold? That's Bast gold, isn't it?
It's Bast gold. Well, it's
Oh,
my
okay.
gold now. Bast can
Well,
suck
yeah,
it.
but it's gold you took from Bast.
Oh, it's gold that I took from a temple.
Uh-huh.
Of Bast.
Yeah, you can hold on to that. I think I've got enough.
She doesn't mind, by the way. She's very happy that you took the gold and hopes you spread it more.
Oh
Hint,
yeah, she seems
hint.
real happy. Speaking of,
Spread it.
It is about this time that one of the many kind of stewards returns with a box, a small box about the size of a, I don't know, like a soda can. And it is ornate, it's beautiful, it is encrusted all over with gemstones. It has a latch on the front, which he undoes and then hands the box to the queen. The queen sets it down in front of her and says, mind your eyes, dearie. I know the light can be a little harsh for your kind. And she flips the lid open, and then there is just this dazzling array of rainbow colors that just bursts out of the box. It illuminates the ceiling above, it glints off of the chandeliers, and spreads these rainbow prism colors all over the dining hall. Everybody kind of looks towards the table, and admiration of this streak of power and energy kind of emanates from this box. It says, this is one of the more dense stones in my collection. We call these the lights, or the light stone, or sometimes the winter stone. I am not fully versed in all of the details, but I was told by my arcanist that it is akin to a 7th level stone. And as you can see, it is quite dense. And she kind of tilts the box towards you, Gale, and it does take you a moment for your eyes to kind of adjust to the light that is shedding off of this thing. Vasu, this is one of the most dense and powerful still stones you've ever seen. Likewise, Gale, this is one of the most dense and powerful stones that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Wildstone or
Like-
not.
Not like actually stepping toward it, but he's like making grabby hands at it like a raccoon does when it sees something it really wants.
And one of the most impressive things about this stone is that it is very small. It fits in this box. It is about 4 cubic inches.
uh,
Jeez.
Huh.
Gale's like
And-
drooling.
how
Or
much?
V.
How much would that cost?
Well, considering that it is cursed gold, I'm going to mark it up a little. Gold that you can't spend is worth a little less, although not truly that much less, and I'm sure you understand why. I'd be willing to give it to you for 225,000 gold.
It'd be safe to just give all of it.
No, it's not, because I have an important thing I need to request with the rest of that gold. But this deal
And what is that?
for the rest, do you have a means of providing shelter and food and security for, like several hundred kobolds in the material plane?
In the material plane does make it a little bit more difficult. I could perhaps loan the services of a court mage who could produce such a shelter. It would take some amount of time, maybe even a year. It would not be done quickly, but I could have somebody develop a shelter using magic, or if they wanted to stay in the wilds, I could provide that for less.
What about just an exchange of cursed gold for like regular gold that's not cursed?
I'm afraid I could perhaps
Well,
do it
like
at a
an-
rate.
Like an 8-to-1? Are you thinking? For
Eh,
curse?
The nature of this curse, very unpredictable, potentially useful, not necessarily malicious. It seems you can at least guide it with intent. I'd be willing to trade for regular gold at 25-to-1.
Do I get the sense that I could haggle.
Give me an insight check. Yes.
Deal. Wait, did you say yes? I feel like I could haggle.
Sure, why not? You can haggle for anything, right?
10.
Oh, I don't think I could do 10 to 1. I'm sorry. That's it's just not worth that much to me.
23.
Give me a persuasion check. 24.
26. Final offer.
She smiles and says, 25 it is then.
All right.
Full body crying, or is that sweat? Kobolds don't
I
sweat.
I'm gonna keep. I don't know. Some amount of the gold. The
Alright.
lowest amount that I can.
Okay.
One?
I'll keep a single gold piece. It's a reminder of my vendetta.
Excellent. So, are you also buying the Wildstone, or are you just converting it all?
Hell yes.
Okay, excellent. So let's see.
Fucking crazy. Of course I'm buying that thing.
Alright. She insists on kind of waiting until the dinner party is over, but eventually, unless there was any other business, she will go through with this transaction. She will hand you the Wildstone, as well as a bag with 5,808 gold pieces in it.
Hot damn. Hey Vasu,
Yeah?
I'm rich.
Yeah. Hey, can I like you like feel free to say no, I understand. But like can I just like hold that stone for a second? I just want to look at it.
Okay, just don't shake it too much. It might
No,
explode.
No, I know better.
I'll let him hold it for a little bit.
Alright.
I just
But I
like
don't
open
take my eyes off it. By
Yeah,
eyes, I mean eye.
I just like open up the box and I just like stare at it for several minutes.
Oh yeah, it's real trippy. It's just every color of the rainbow constantly swirling in this weird, like, hypnotic pattern.
I'm gonna throw my voice into the box and be like, "Shake me, Vasu, shake me."
Well,
Vasu and Gale are gonna go blind staring at this thing.
while they're staring at that box, I'd like to walk up to the queen. I understand the business with the cursed gold's all dealt with now, but if I was to want to pay you for what we talked about with the ship, what would you think that would cost me?
Well, sending out a fleet of the Navy. Show me on a map real quick, roughly where you entered from and where you need to go and how you'd be passing through, and I'll see what I can do. And she kind of sits down with you for a while and works with somebody. I think Vasu has cartographers.
It has a map and I think
Yeah.
Flick probably navigators.
Yep.
Did our ship not come with us?
It's at the tree roll seasons meet.
When do we need to like rebind Sundowner?
As far as I'm concerned, as soon as we get back to the tree, we should let him go if I can afford for this trip. That's the reason I'm trying to work this out. Something
200,
I've been talking to y'all about.
290 gold, and I will send one of my ships to carry you and your entire crew to your destination. It is a well-armed and well-stocked ship. You should be able to fend off most of the dangers in the material plane.
All right, then. I'll talk to my friends, but if it's up to me, I'd like to take you up on it.
Understood?
I guess after that conversation, I'll approach the rest of you. Be like, I just got done talking to the queen. She said that for 290 gold, she'd outfit us with a ship that would take us from the tree where all seasons meet back to Salt Bowl to pick up Gale's new airship.
It's a
I
great
don't mind
deal.
paying. I don't mind paying for it. It's something that's important to me, but I can't keep flying around on a ship that's got a slave power in it. I can't keep doing it. I know it's an inconvenience, and I don't mean to throw off our journey, but seeing everything we all just saw up there, I just put things in perspective, I guess. Reminded me what mattered, and it's important to me that we let Sundowner out.
I think it's a fabulous idea.
Been planning to do this for a very, very long time.
Hey, Flick, do you still have the ability to like send people to different planes, monsters and such?
Did the banishment spell?
Ah, yes, that one.
Yes, I wouldn't say it's send people to other planes. It's
Back where they came from, whatever. But
Yeah.
perhaps we should have that prepared so that whenever we release him, you can just send him back home, so he doesn't try to destroy everything around.
I'd like to try to talk to him if I can, but we'll see how it works out. Don't know if he'll be too understanding. No,
It'll
I
be a
wouldn't
backup plan.
right.
Frankly, I wouldn't blame him if he wants to kill every one of us. That's what I want to do to the people that made me a slave.
It's all right. If he tries, we can kill him. It doesn't kill him here. It'll just send him back home. So if you don't wish to, spend the spell killing him, we can do that.
Is that? I thought that was only for fiends. Is that also for elementals?
Something.
Can I make a check?
You can
My-
give me an Arcana check, sure.
Yeah, my passive is 23.
Oh no!
I feel like an expert.
I don't think that's true. That's what I think.
Yeah, you can think whatever you think. You don't know the truth. Nomad.
I can use inspiration if you want.
18 is pretty solid. You know for sure that fiends go back, but you know that fiends are kind of special. You would know that celestials go back, but celestials are kind of special in the sense that fiends and celestials are, spoiler alert, basically the same thing on different sides of the axis. You're not really sure that elementals go back where they come. In fact, you're pretty confident that elementals don't go back where they came from.
Yeah, we fought elementals, haven't we? Like those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case you haven't noticed, every elemental we fought just disappears.
I think they more like disintegrate into their element rather than just go back home.
That seems like they're going back home though, because when you go back to a place, it kind of reveals a bit of the element you came from.
I don't want to say that you're
Become
wrong, Nomad, but I think you're extremely wrong on this topic. Maybe
Yeah,
we should
but who's better at Arcana?
not kill him.
Is
I, for one, don't want to risk it if there's even a chance it's not true. I've already been making a slave fly me around for weeks and weeks. I ain't gonna kill him after I let him go.
Well, then you must convince him not to attack, because I will kill him if he attacks any one of us.
We can just banish him if he attacks us, Nomad.
I hope this is true.
That is kind of what it does. No
I
violence.
know.
This guy has had a
Let's
hard
hope not.
life.
Yes, but if he is violent and wishes to kill us, and banishment fails, which it can, all spells can fail, what will we do? Let him run
Banish?
amok? Let him
We'll
kill
just-
us?
We'll just have him cast it again.
I, for one, yeah, let's just cross that bridge when we get to it.
I just wished for a solid answer for this.
My answer is that I was a slave for years and years, and I've made it my entire life to try to find and kill the person that did it to me. So I can't, in good conscience, tell Sundowner that he shouldn't kill us, or I can't tell myself that if we kill him, it wouldn't be the same thing as Anton killing me when we go and try to fight him. I
Then
guess what
perhaps,
I ain't gonna fight him back.
yeah.
I hope we
Then
can save
perhaps
him.
we
That seems like
can.
the best case.
Yes. If the banishment fails and Flick only has so much magic, perhaps we can bind him down and try again the next day to banish him. Not for slavery, but for the safety of innocent people.
Are we still in the court right now?
I assume that dinner's kind of wrapping up. We can kind of skip ahead whenever you're ready.
I meant
yes.
I meant more like, are we having this conversation like right next to the queen?
Nordo had made a point of like stepping away from the queen for this
Yeah.
particular
All right.
conversation.
I don't want to bother her. Does she look like she was like done with us, or does she look like she was like, if they want to talk to me again, like she'll like it's fine?
What's your passive insight? Or you can roll it.
21.
You're good. She seems to. You guys have been putting up with business for her. She's willing to make some concessions and spend some social energy to make sure that gets done. She seems okay. She's open for more talking if you want to do more talking. She's not sick of you guys yet.
Cool.
If you want, we
Okay.
can ask. Maybe she knows a little bit more about elementals, and we can find out whether or not killing it would send it back or not, or if maybe she has an idea of what we could do. It's another option.
Why don't we? Maybe this won't all be an issue when if we go get killed by these hags anyway. So let's start with getting
Hope
our
not.
errand done, and then maybe go from there.
Yeah, I guess if we
Well-
die, he'll just be set free on his own. So
And if we die, it won't be
Yeah.
our problem anyway.
I think I will find the scroll of banishment in case we fail several times. This is
How-
a simple solution.
How much something like that cost for no man?
What does a 4th level spell cost in spell scrolls, Vic?
Just closed it. Just a second.
Well, you
So-
best keep that open because I just got money and I am a wizard.
Excellent. The very cheapest that you could get it from somebody who was skilled enough to make it from a 16er would be about 60 to 70 gold.
Not bad.
Realistically, it's probably going to be closer to 250 because most artificers aren't that high enough level to work with those stones.
Oh, that's fair. But what about in the Feywild? Is it cheaper here?
So it's kind of difficult to make specific spell scrolls in the Feywild because most of what they have here is wild stone instead of specific stones for specific
that's
colors.
fair.
So they produce a lot of like wands of wonder and things produce random effects.
Right. So I can purchase a scroll here.
You could potentially, but it would probably be more expensive because they would have to import it from another plane.
Gotcha. Tell Nordo, it would be more expensive if we buy it here. Roughly 60 to 70, but realistically 250 in the material plane.
Yeah, something like that.
It could be more expensive here.
Well, I can buy it for you. This is my thing I'm wanting us all to do, so I can chip in.
Understand. If you could buy the scroll, I will purchase the reagents needed to learn it, and I will be the backup for Flick.
Works for me.
This spell requires you to have something that the creature you're banishing finds repulsive.
or an arcana or arcane
Well,
thing.
we'll be standing right
this
by the
one's,
prison we've been keeping it locked up in for weeks and weeks, and presumably years before we found it. So
Just
that
touch
shouldn't
the
be a
ship.
problem.
Just touch the ship and be like, this ship banishes you.
Yeah, one of these engines should do. Just put a hand on it.
Look at that beautiful wild stone.
Look at it. It's glowing. Look at its shape. Isn't it beautiful?
On the subject of spending our money while we're here, I would mind see if I can find some Either some cool items. If someone has ideas for stuff to make for me, I don't really know how to make stuff.
If you have any ideas, yeah, we'll stick
Ooh.
the stone in for you.
I need something to be made.
Sure.
I got that displacer beast leather. I need armor.
Ooh, what kind of armor? Studded?
The best light armor money can make. Preferably.
Very well.
Which I think is studded. Is that a plus 12 or plus 13 to that?
Studded is a 12 plus dex.
Hmm.
If you were to stuff some stones in it as well, you could potentially get some +1 out of it, maybe +2.
Yeah, nor
Ooh.
those goggles need to be fixed.
Yeah, well, they are still like functional, but they're attunement, and I want like non-attunement versions, which we know exist. I just don't know what we need to make them.
Yeah, so I
then-
believe, if I remember correctly, the goggles are right at the cusp where it depends on a roll to determine if they're attunement or not.
Right.
So it would just take
That's what I
another
thought it was,
crafting
too.
roll.
They don't happen. I know we're kind of like loosey-goosey shopping while we're here. They don't happen to have one just for sale here, do they? Just goggles of dark vision that aren't
Ooh.
attunement.
Give me
But it's a long order.
It's going to be a difficult luck check because a lot of things here have dark vision naturally.
They have goggles of light vision. It makes you stare at light.
Oh,
19's
that's
pretty
quite
good.
a good luck check.
Yeah, they have. They do. They have a pair of night vision goggles or dark vision goggles that are non-attunement, and so 120 gold.
What if I threw in my other ones?
They will
Jordan's been watching Gale haggle.
give you a persuasion check.
Hardly fitting.
We'll take 10 gold off.
Oh, that's not bad.
All right,
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
110 then.
Yep, 110, and they'll upgrade your existing goggles to be non-attunement.
Standing done.
All right, the deal is done. Ace.
Do you have any really cool real myth bows or some? And is it, or can anyone upgrade my bow to be more awesome?
Let me see your existing bow and what they could potentially do to it.
Real myth bow, wrong bow of darkness, +1 reaction to cast darkness.
Graze 2.
Would you like an arrow that teleports you to where it hits?
Ooh, that could be cool.
Blink arrow. Blink arrow or something. I can't really upgrade your like bow, but perhaps we can make a quiver that makes magic arrows.
Either that, or if there's any like really awesome bows already here.
Yeah, this is like the Feywild. They're mostly elves, so that's all bows, right?
Okay, so they
That's
have
racist.
they have a lot of just basic +1 longbows and short bows, including some that are in very small sizes. They also have a number of silent shot bows, which are basically just magical bows that do not make any noise when fired or when the arrow hits its target. Effectively not revealing you after you've made your first attack. In terms of just like sheer power, you get the sense, and Gale and Nomad too, if they're joining. The artificers here are not as good as Gale and Nomad. They can make things, but none of the things that they can make are as good as what they could make. So if you want to get something custom made, Gale and Nomad are probably your best bet. But yeah, what they have on stock mostly consists of just plain +1 longbows and short bows, and then silent bows. They have like a +1 silent longbow, which would be comparable. You'd basically be trading the darkness effect for the ability to fire multiple times from stealth before you're revealed.
What about a bow that instead of having darkness cast silence on a creature? That would be really sick nasty on
That would
on
be
wizards.
That would be really sick nasty. No one here is strong enough to make a bow like that, but Gale could certainly do that, or so could Nomad.
What is this quiver you were talking about, Nomad? You have piqued my interest.
So, creating another bow for you seems inefficient. It's, big and cumbersome. However, you do need arrows. And perhaps a quiver that enchants arrows with different properties, limited times per day, is doable.
I'll be like Hawkeye.
Who is this?
He's from a story I once read. The Revengers.
Yes, you will be like the Revenger Hawkeye.
He had the eye of a hawk. Just one.
What
Did he?
where'd he get
wear
it?
From a hawk?
Uh,
They're very small.
It's actually a really sad romantic story. I don't want to get into it.
okay.
no, I think I've heard of this guy. Or at least the Revengers. Isn't there another character like the Infraggable Crunk or something?
Oh yeah, the
Dragon.
Frank Master.
Yeah, that's the one.
No, people don't like him when he dances.
Okay. Would you like this as an idea? You will have to think of what the arrows do before I enchant them. Quiver, that is.
Oh, I also need to buy more pittons and rope because we left it at the tower.
Easy peasy.
Oh, right.
Yep, you're able to get plenty of that for cheap enough that it's negligible.
You hear that? Free.
It's practically free.
Yeah, it would be no more than like 4 or 5 silver.
I'll be a good player and I'll take 4 or 5 silver
Perfect.
out of my thing. Guys, I'm broke now.
What? Oh no.
I'm just joking.
That 5 silver did it.
Oh.
All right.
5 silver got rid of all that platinum I had.
But yeah, as you guys are kind of looking through here, it seems that a lot of what they have is just kind of novelty stuff. There's a lot of magical instruments that are just enchanted to sound especially beautiful. There are a lot of animated toys that kind of play with themselves, or like they walk around and react to you.
Do they have any instruments that talk or sing in their own voice?
They do, actually. They have a number of instruments that sing in their own voices, including an entire four-part string quartet that plays itself entirely, and they all have kind of these their own animated personalities. They can only be sold as a set, and they stick together.
Mostly I want an instrument that I can still play as an instrument, but also talks.
Yeah, they definitely have like sentient and magical instruments. They would give you advantage on any checks to play. In fact, probably advantage in like a +1. And then, they're also sentient, so they can sing along, or they can just kind of talk to you when you need to talk to someone. They can be there.
Oh, so you can buy a slave.
No, it's different.
Why?
See, these aren't like possessed by like a trapped elemental or anything like that.
They think it can speak.
I like to imagine it's just like Discworld where there's like sapient wood, and when you make things out of it, it's just like sapient.
Sapient wood.
Yeah, sapient pearwood is a big thing in Discworld. You fuckers need to read that series. I'm
I
telling you.
do. It's on my list. It's
Read
a
it
lot of books.
faster. Like 100 pages each. You have no excuse to not at least have the Color of Magic done. I will make a book club if I have to.
You have to send me the order of reading them because I have no clue where to start.
Okay, so like, I'll get into this later because it's very convoluted. Should read them.
Okay.
You all should.
I think the difference in this instrument slave is that they do not have souls? Question mark?
Give me an Arcana check.
Not 30 last time.
And I'm just gonna ask the person selling these. I'm like, do these have souls?
Souls, don't be ridiculous. It's just magic. Nomad, you would know that most magical effects do not actually produce a soul. In fact, nothing short of the very, very most powerful magic is capable of producing a soul. And even then, it is just a
So,
tiny mote that grows and grows the more that people start to care about
Yeah.
that soul. Uh,
yeah. So when you awaken the awaken spell that gives an animal sentience and a life of its own and the ability to think and feel and love, does the animal have a soul?
Animals and plants are living things. They do start with very small
Gotcha.
souls, yes.
Plants?
And when you awaken them, typically their souls grow as a result.
Plants
Plants
as
have
well.
souls?
They do. They're very small, mostly meaningless.
Listen. Right. So he says to Vasu, "It's okay. It only has a mote of a soul. It'll only matter if you care about it too much."
Does that go from moat too, or is that like not like I care about him or anything, but like I'd be upset to know if he didn't have a soul, or like a real small one or something.
I can speak for everyone here. You all have massive souls, massive souls,
Oh,
absolutely above average.
Me, who has by part of my soul ripped apart?
Whose God doesn't care about you? Because I
Me.
care about you, and I am God.
Yeah.
They don't have any Hobosi. They have a number of other stringed instruments that you could probably make work. They have a couple of lutes and lyres. They probably have, just a harp, some basic stringed instruments. The lute is probably the closest thing you're going to find to a Hobosi.
how much for a lute?
They will give you a sentient, singing, magical +1 lute for 430 gold.
How much is that in platinum?
43.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy it.
And that is +1 too. You know what? Performance checks, but if you
Oh.
happen to make an attack roll with it, it'll count.
Damn
And
straight.
it's magic, so it can't be damaged easily.
True, it does have some damage resistance because it's built in.
What are the damage dice of a? Oh, never mind. I'm a monk. I can just make it a D8. All right, so I'm buying
Got
that.
you there.
Shit, I've made a mistake already. That's okay. That's reasonable.
That's fine.
Just bear those rules in mind. Let's see. Could I add it or make bigger stones? Increase damage on a weapon plus something. Okay. It's not attunement.
Those are just various ideas. It's currently not attunement. I'd be willing to make it attunement / add more stones in order to get some or any of those effects.
Gotcha. Let me see what stones are currently in it. Oh shit, there's not very much in it at all right now. Holy shit.
Right.
Yeah, so you were right at the cusp of attunement. I assume that you rolled well, which is why this is not an attunement. But you have lots of room as far as the volume is concerned. You're only at 6 volume. Gale can go up to 19, and if they work together, they can go up to 21. So in theory, you could make it +1 by stuffing in 4 gray level 2 stones. Increasing the damage die. That would mostly come down to just like changing the weapon's class.
I meant for the wound itself.
Oh, for the wound itself? Yeah. You could bump the damage for the wound up by using larger redstone, bumping from 1C up to like 2Cs. So that would do the damage dice. Making it +1 would be gray. And likewise, if you made the redstone stronger, it would also increase the DC.
And then there was that like the demons we fought last time. They did a wounding thing that it did not get a check at the start of the turn. You'd like use your action to try to fix the wounds.
Yeah.
Would that be a fundamental change to the weapon that would require different kinds of stones entirely, or just bigger stones?
Just better redstones.
Okay,
Or
cool.
alternatively, you could use you could add a purple stone. If you added some purple stones to it, probably 4 level 1 purple stones would make it so that they had to manually spend an action to do it instead of it happening automatically.
And you said it was level 2 gray stones to +1 it, and level 2 red stones to increase the damage. Yep. Cool,
There we
thank you.
go. Yep. All right. Any other business or crafting? Or are you guys
I'm
going to
looking
settle
at
in for the night?
arrow types. So, what is the capacity that he has for putting stuff into a quiver? It's 21 volume.
Yeah, so if they work together, they've got 21 volume. As long as Gale is part of that, you have advantage on the check and cannot roll lower than a 10. And as long as Nomad is working on it, you go up to 21 volume over 19. While you guys are looking, I'm going to run through this list because there are a lot of hands raised. Nomad, did you have anything else?
Oh yeah, this was back in the court. When everyone's done kind of talking, he approaches the queen. He bows his head like a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Respectfully? He feels like, yeah, this is what you do with royalty, right?
Yeah.
You bow your head and you do a bow. I was taught by Mitchell and all of this.
Yep.
And I just ask her, how do you make people love you so?
Oh, I suppose some of it is a sense of obligation, and I would be foolish to think otherwise. But I've also met a number of genuine friends who have been with me in and out of season. And I think there are many ways to do it, but the way that I've done it is with honesty and frankness. The trick is that no one trick will work universally. What works on one person may not work for another. What might make you some friends will cause you to lose others. There's no silver bullet for any situation. You just have to be yourself and stick to the people who appreciate that.
Silver bullet for shooting friends that disappoint you?
Time is the closest I can think of to an answer to that, but even that is wishy-washy. Some might view the passage of time as a lack of effort to reconcile. I don't have a strong answer for that. Typically, when things fall apart around me, it's because there's politics involved, and it would be diswise for me to try to reconcile those situations.
I can see you are well loved in your kingdom. They talk about you in respectful, hushed tones and admiration. Recently, I'm aware that souls grow when they are loved.
They do.
You must be very well loved indeed.
I certainly hope so.
Did you start this loved, this powerful?
Oh no, I don't believe anyone in any place of power ever begins well loved. It's, typical when you're thrust into the public spotlight to be given scorn and distrust first. Truthfully,
The
I was thought to be
challenges.
too quiet, too weak, too unfriendly. People didn't think I would do well. But here I am.
You are. Perhaps I too can find more love.
Your friends seem to appreciate you. It's always a good start.
And I appreciate them. Would you like a pamphlet?
She'll take a pamphlet.
Yeah, he goes back to his friends.
Alright, Vasu, did you have anything else?
So yeah, I think we've all kind of already picked over most of what they have for like magic weapons and stuff. But I was looking for either more still stones or also hoping to do some crafting with still stones that we have already.
Yeah. So they have a handful of wildstones on sale, although you do notice there's not a whole lot of them here. Not even as many as you found in that one booth for sale back at the tree. But you could probably buy level 1s if you wanted to, just kind of trinkets that they brought in for these knick-knack shops.
I've already got a bunch of those, and they only have wild stones here.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, there are only wild stones here.
Okay. Then I guess I'm mostly looking to do some crafting then.
All right.
I'm gonna post the stats for my spear that I have right now, and I apologize in advance because it's a lot of text.
Excellent.
But I mostly want, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm sure if I just scroll over, I could see what like the max capacity is for enchantments and stuff right now. But I mostly want to pull out and then probably resocket those redstones, maybe with some better ones that we have in the party loot. I mostly want to get some extra damage on it that doesn't rely on like a once per long rest sort of thing.
Sure. So you've got the 2 oranges in there right now, which are adding up to 12. And then you have a clip, which adds another 4. So you're at 16 right now, and Gale's max is 19. If he works with Nomad, that goes up to 21. So you've got potentially 5 more inches to play with. That would be enough to throw in like 4 orange cantrip stones, and that would add like an extra D4 of fire damage on top of everything.
I know we've got 2 3Cs in the party loot right now, and I think another one in an axe that Nordo mentioned.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to socket some higher level ones.
Gotcha.
See what that could do.
So, as a reminder, red is mostly for like strong emotions and passion. Orange is fire.
Oh right.
You could still
Orange
do it
is
if you
fire.
want, but yeah.
What kind of damage type would I get from red if I wanted to just go for like an extra damage socketing red?
It would probably be
Psychic?
It would probably be like either like a bleed effect, kind of like Nordo's axe has with those redstones in it,
Ooh.
or potentially like necrotic, something that was just directly damaging their vitality and their health. Maybe even like a max HP reduction effect potentially. Although that would
That could
probably
also
fall
be
under
fun.
purple.
Let me look at the stones we have real quick and the stones that I have in my personal stash. I have some 3C 8V. And I'm sorry, I always forget what these like notations stand for, but I have 2 of those in white.
Excellent.
What would those do?
White at 3C, that would be able to make it like a +1 that did a little bit of extra cold damage.
Ooh.
Or potentially something that let you like potentially move with a free disengage built in when you made an attack, something like that. Although you're already a monk, so I don't know if that would do much for you.
It could be cool. I don't have a lot of like free movement.
Yeah. White typically relates to wind and cold. So things that would like let you move more freely, or things that would deal cold damage.
I could definitely pick up. I could definitely lean into some more of that air aesthetic. Would that also work well for like a forced movement sort of thing?
Absolutely.
Like to
You could
push or
definitely do,
knock
like,
prone with
yeah.
air?
You could do
Cool.
like a gust of wind or something like that.
Alright, yeah, I want to try some of that shit. Hey, Nordo! Gale! Not Nordo, sorry. I get you guys mixed up. Nomad!
It happens.
Nordo, you can come look too. I mean,
I'm sure I ain't gonna understand it, but I can take a look.
I don't really either, but it's fun to watch.
You just hit it against the item you wish for it to go into until it goes inside. Sometimes it takes hours.
Christ.
Stone that gets it. It's inside. Cool.
You can combine still stones into higher tier ones, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we start doing that kind of stuff, I do also have 2C 4V orange ones that we could maybe combine. Try to do that. That could be fun.
You want to combine these?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Shit.
Sure.
I gotta make sure I have these separated.
English veteran. We need a better organization of these stone spec. Like, whose are these? I think they might
these
be
are.
mine.
I think these are supposed to be Vasu's, but then he's got some other ones that aren't listed there.
Yeah.
We need like
these are
a
Vasu's?
personal box
Yeah,
section.
I'll see if I can get something sorted out soon. In the meantime, while Vasu is thinking and deciding, Flick, what's up?
All right, I've got this mithril. They probably know how to smith mithril here, right?
Oh, they do. There is a smith in town, yeah.
All right, I need breastplate made. I've got 20 pounds of mithril, so
Woo! Okay, I'm gonna go see.
Ooh, 20 pounds might not be enough for breastplate.
oh, it is.
It is.
Oh, it is cool. I can make it for you, Flick.
You can smith things.
With my fingers.
That's not quite sure that's how smithing works.
Gestures over to Gale's breastplate. See, it's immaculately made.
Okay, but if you do that, then who's gonna put the stones in it?
It'll only take 10 minutes for me to turn your mithril into a breastplate.
Is that true? Do you have
I have
fabricate?
fabricate.
Oh my god, that's gonna be
Yes.
so much easier. Okay, I was about to tell you, the smith can do it, but it's gonna take about 5 days. Or Nomad can do it in 10 minutes. Your call.
Oh, well, let's just have Nomad do it in 10 minutes. Jesus.
I charge higher though because it costs a spell, and I have very few mana.
That's all right. I can do that. I can.
In fact, yeah, I
can wear
can't
your
do it
friendship
today.
bracelet.
Yeah, if you pump some into me. But that's Ace's friendship bracelet.
Right.
Very
sad.
attached.
You hear a very
forget
sad, you hear a very sad violin playing, and his eyes get all big. He is the sad violin though, because I forgot that I could do that.
He just opens his mouth wide and like Lilo and Stitch, just produces violin sounds.
I mean, obviously, if he needs to use it, that's fine. It just you have to attune to it, so that'll take like an hour to attune to it. And if you're attuned to something already, you have to unattune. And then I think Nomad needs to attune to his again.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that you guys probably have like maybe 6 hours of free time before you all pass out around 1 or 2 in the morning here. Which is enough to do like a little bit of crafting. So far you guys have not, I think, committed to any actual crafting yet.
I'll type out the things that I want to do, though.
Okay. Flick and Nomad, I'll let you guys work out via text if you want to fabricate that shit. Let me jump back to... Sure. Actually, let's go through this in order, and I'll come back to you after this, Vasu. So, Gale, what's up?
Well, it seems that most of my friends are busy with their own shit. So I'm gonna
I'm not.
Currently busy.
Perfect. I will go and gather Ace. No offense, Nordo. I actually need to talk to Ace too,
Alright.
anyways, so this works out.
I'll come along too if you want me, because all the shit that I want to do involves both you and Nomad,
No,
because I
you're-
can't do any
You're
of this
busy.
myself.
Get out of here.
Really not. I'm really not. But
Sorry,
that's fine.
kobolds only.
Okay.
Christ.
No. Sure.
Offended.
Anyways, I just was wondering if you'd actually found anything else, anything in that mansion while you guys were searching. And I'm gonna be walking down like wherever streets there are, and I'm looking for a rug shop as we're talking.
Oh, absolutely. They, like, it's oddly specific. It is a shop just for rugs, and it is oddly popular in town. It's definitely that kind of, like, small town tourist stop vibe where they have a shop for everything.
Perfect. Well, heading there.
Is there anything particular that you were looking for?
Well, here I need a rug. But as for what was in the mansion, I was just kind of curious.
Is this like small talk, or are you trying to like get information out of me? Because I'll just tell you.
I
Meta,
found
I'm
a lot
fishing
of
for
really good
something.
hooch if you want to share later.
Meta, I'm fishing for something. In character, Gale is just trying to make conversation.
Gotcha. Found some good wine, some sex toys, paintings that had people's souls in them, a room full of books. I gave 2 of them to Nomad.
Like paintings with
much.
people's souls in them.
Well, not their souls. Sorry, they're stasis bodies, so that the mind flayers could feed on them. I think they're like dead already.
Okay, if they're dead already, that makes it slightly less terrible. If they weren't dead, I'd feel bad that we left.
So why are we looking for a rug?
I have a thing that I want to make, and I need a nice rug.
Is it a flying carpet, like from the stories?
No, I considered that, but I figure we already have a flying ship, so that
True.
seems a little redundant.
Meta, I'm like
Anyway.
trying to figure out what you're trying to fish for.
It's the
Fishing for the book.
book with the Trace book.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Spoiler alert:
Yeah.
Drayton had a character named Trace.
I don't remember what I did. I guess I just put them in my bag. Oh yeah, I also found some books. They were blank. Lots and lots of blank papers and unused ink. I don't think they were magical. Well, there's this one, and it said, I forget the other one, what the other one said on it. Trace and other name. Dag. Dav? Dad? Dad. Dag. When I look at them with... Actually, I opened the books now with my monocle. Is there anything written on them?
Nope. Just blank.
Were there any, like, portraits with these people in them?
I don't know. I didn't really... Did any of the portraits have name plaques on them when I was looking at them?
No, none of the portraits had like nameplates or anything like that on them.
Not that I remember. Did you know these people?
No, it just seemed like, I don't know, if he's keeping, or if they were keeping people in paintings, and they've just got these blank books. I thought maybe they were like supposed to be accounts of the people there.
Maybe. I think this book probably more likely belonged to the person who lived there, the Watcher, but I'm not sure. These books don't feel magical, do they? I think I asked you and I forget.
I could take a look and see if they are.
All right. So that was also to meta effect. Are they vibrating?
Nope, they don't appear to be magical.
I hand them over to him.
Well, I'm gonna assume that these are supposed to be stories. And I'm gonna take out a just like a pen or like a piece of charcoal or something. I'm gonna flip to the last page in these books, and just scroll on the last page. I'm gonna write, "And they lived happily ever after," on both of them.
Cute.
I didn't really have a good answer for you before, but you're like what it meant to be a kobold. I've thought about it a lot, and I think it just means, seeking the happiness of others, even at your own expense sometimes. I'm gonna give the books back.
I guess I'm probably not a very good kobold then.
I mean, you put up with Nomad, so
True. I don't know if I put up with him. I enjoy his company. Never a
I
dull
think you
moment.
balanced each other out.
Thank you. I mean, there's never a dull moment with Nomad, even if you really want it sometimes. Sometimes you just want to walk into a town and not be chased out. But that's, there are dreams for a reason. But yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Can you help me pick out a rug?
Of course. Maybe not carrying it. I'm not very strong.
Yeah, I've got Toto.
I think you're a very good kobold. Like, by the standards that you just set.
Thank you. Yeah, and then we just look for a fancy, nice rug, and we'll buy it.
Excellent. Easy enough. It's kind of up to you how much you want to spend. I would say that their like very most fancy and nice rug is probably still only like 100 gold. You can spend way less and still get a really nice rug.
I get my magnifying glass out to look at the thread count.
Okay, I came along for this, so I'm just going to roll this to try and sway their opinion as much as I can to buying a rug from the Big Lebowski. Oh, do I have advantage?
I don't know. Are you proficient in rugs?
I'm from New York. I sell rugs sell rugs all the time. Probably, I don't know.
Do I have an advantage because I live in a tree that's a dirt floor?
No, I can't think of any particular reason. With that said, however, you can get a really nice rug for like 3 gold. Like a really, really, really nice rug.
3 gold.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, that's 240 bucks.
Is it sad that when he first said he's looking for a rug, Ace come talk to me, I'm like, he's gonna murder me, roll me up in a rug this time. That's my first thought. I'm glad it didn't go this way.
Dump him in a river. Well, I have a budget of 8,000 gold, so
Yeah, for that you can get like the 100 gold rug. It's like everything after 3 or 4 gold is just for showing off. Like you're just paying for a brand at that point.
I mean, I'm gonna show off. So
Fair.
I'm gonna spend 10 gold on a rug.
Excellent. You get a magnificent rug. It can either be like big enough to fill a rather large room and still be really, really, really exquisite, or it could be small enough to just kind of like throw in front of like a fireplace or in a walkway or something like that. And if that's the case, then it is actually made with this fine thread that gives a little bit of this just like magical light on its own, and it's woven in and out of this very fine silk. It's a splendid rug. It's a magnificent rug.
It really ties the room together.
It really ties the room together.
Can I get a rug that folds to a 1x1 sheet of cloth?
Yeah. Yeah, easy enough. It's made of kind of like a thinner material so that it can fold kind of nicely. They also have like, for 10 gold if you wanted, you could get like a magical self-cleaning rug.
I'll just get like a nice, very nice 10x10 rug.
Alright, perfect. Alright. Let's jump back over. Vasu, it sounded like you'd figured out what you wanted.
Yeah. So I've got 3 of those 2C 4V, I think. Yeah, I've got 3 of those if I count the one in my spear. So mostly what I want to do is take everything out of my spear aside from the clip that extends the reach of it, and first try to combine some of those orange stones that I have together, and then resocket my spear with the higher tier orange stones and maybe some of the white stones and try to get some cool shit out of it.
Alright. So stripping the orange stone out of your existing spear only takes 15 minutes. That actually will pull all of the stones out of it. And then you can try to merge. Let's see. Sunflare. Orange. So that gives you, okay, a 2-4, which I've already pulled out, and then it gives you a 3-8.
Yeah, so that means in total, I think I've got one of those 3 8s and 3 of the
Yep.
2 Cs.
That looks right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you can try to merge 2 of these 2 Cs together.
Yes, please.
Excellent. Then that just takes 10
This
minutes.
is the part I need Nomad and Gale for.
Perfect. So it takes 10 minutes and 1 gold worth of lead, and then whoever is doing the check, I need a toolkit check. The DC is 53. I don't
What?
think you got lucky on this one. Realistically, I don't think any of you guys can hit a 53. So the merge goes fine. It just means you don't get a lucky
real?
merge. It is real.
Oh, okay.
The merge goes fine. It just means you don't get a lucky merge. So that means you now have 2 level 3 8s and then 1 level 2 4. Ooh, he's trying though. Look at that.
Okay, so I've got. Yeah, I want to put those. First, I want to get the reaching clip thing back in there. So that takes up 4 of the potential slots, I think, of my spear.
Yeah, that'll take 4 inches, just built into the clip.
Yeah. And then I want to put those 2 3C oranges and the 2 3C whites I have in there. I've walked. What's the total limit again?
Total limit
22.
21 if they work together. And you've already got
Okay.
4 in, so that's 17 left over. These are all 8s, so you're only going to be able to fit 2 of them.
Okay, so I want to go for both the oranges then. Probably.
Excellent. Awesome. That means you will get some sort of pretty cool fire-related effect that you'll be able to use twice a week.
What would I need to put in there to get like a fire-related effect that's like always on?
To get something that's always
If
on,
it is just like a tiny little bit of extra damage.
to get something that's always on, you need to have 4 of a stone, even if it's like smaller stone. So instead of doing
Gotcha.
like 2 level 3s, you could potentially do like 4 level 2s. Yeah, that would fit. And you just so happen to know a guy who has a whole bunch of red stones that are special for no particular reason.
Who's that?
Orange stones.
Or orange stones,
I'm
yeah.
looking for oranges.
Yeah, they're orange.
Who's that?
Gale has a ton of
Hey,
orange stones.
Gale,
Yeah,
you doing anything with those orange stones?
a little bit.
Okay.
Do you need some?
I mean, maybe. I'd like to try and fuck around with some of them.
I can part with the 3 Cs, or a couple of them.
Well, see, I've already got 2 of the 3 Cs. I'm still not really sure how all these numbers work, but I think I'm looking for smaller ones to put more of them in there or something.
I think he wants a permanent effect that works all the time, so he
Yeah.
wants a bunch of small stones.
Yeah, these 2 Cs would probably be your best bet. Or this one up here.
Yeah, sorry, those are precious.
No, that's
Quite
fine.
precious.
I gotta do some shopping for some redstones whenever we get back to a home,
Yeah.
anyways. Just do a little
We
shopping
have
for stuff.
weird prismatic stuff here.
I think when we get back to Salt Bowl, we can probably exchange some of these ones that we don't really want. Maybe get some more consistent stones.
I assume these 4 redstones that are like pulled aside up in the corner are spoken for, right? They're being used for something.
That's up to you guys. I don't know.
I'm asking the party that. I just see there's 4 that are like pulled up in their own separate little nook up
I know
here.
First was
that I'm
arranging
assuming that's
them. I don't know if he's using them for anything.
because I was gonna buy those. Oh wait, never mind. I'm gonna buy a different size. Disregard that.
It is also worth mentioning, Vasu, that if you wanted to, you could do this. You could do some of those prismatics, since you don't have any oranges.
Would wild stones be?
Wild
Are wild
stones.
stones like wild cards? You can make them oranges if you want to.
No, but that's what prismatics are. That's exactly what prismatics
Ah.
are. And that is, for the record, that is the only thing special about prismatics is that you can use them to fill in other colors. So like, there's not like another reason to hold on to prismatics. They're just wild cards.
Okay.
That's just
Be
what he's
careful.
saying to make us get rid of them all.
So, hypothetically speaking, could I get the extended reach on my spear from those? I think they're gray stones in there with less charge if I combine some of those stones, maybe. 'Cause right now it's 4-0C1V.
So if you were to combine them, you would get a more powerful effect, but less frequently.
Okay.
Yeah, you always need 4 of a stone to get any sort of permanent or always-on effect like that. Making them more powerful gives you a more powerful effect, but it makes it happen less often.
Gotcha.
With that said, if you were to use these 4 stones, you could stuff these all in. You would get some sort of really cool permanent fire effect, and then you would still have room for your clip.
Kind of want to do that if nobody else wants those prismatics for anything.
I don't know if we need them. I have crafting I want to do, but I don't know what stones I need yet.
So go for
mean-
it, Vasudeva. We can always buy more stones.
Yeah, I'd be willing to like shell out some of these oranges and white stones I have to kind of make up for it. But
Do you mind waiting to see what I need?
I guess.
All right, let's jump over, or let's work through the list real quick, and then we can come back to that then.
Real
Flick.
quick
Oh, yeah,
first.
what's up?
Real quick first. Sorry.
It's fine.
For cantrip level, I'm guessing gray stones get me that extended reach.
Yep.
What would 4 cantrip level cyan stones do on a spear?
They would convert the damage from piercing into like lightning damage.
That's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it just changes the damage type.
Okay, that was it. I was just asking because I happen to have 4 of those.
Cool. All right, Flick, back to you.
Nomad and I are still discussing it. He doesn't have the mana to do what I want him to do.
I could give him some mana if you
Nomad
want.
suggests yeah, he could give me the mana, but also we have like a thing to do within 2 days. So if you want, since it's going to take 5 days anyway, normally, we could do the hags first, so I have full power against them, and then after that, I can just take 10 minutes to make your armor.
Right. How long is it going to take us to do the hag? Should I just pay to get it done?
She said it was a couple days trip.
There'll
Yeah.
be 2 days there and 2 days back. So
If
it's
yeah,
gonna
if you,
take them 5 days.
yeah,
probably
it'll
could.
be back by
All right. How much would it cost for me to get this smithed?
If you were going to supply all of the materials, are you doing you're doing a breastplate still?
I might do half plate if I can find 20 more pounds of mithril.
Yes. Do you have the prices for mithril handy still?
I think it's 30 gold pieces a pound.
Oh, thank
So
God.
it'd be-
Yep, you're right. It's right here.
slowly. Feck is losing himself in the deluge
I found my
Oh.
notes finally.
crafting rules.
Are you proficient in light armor? Or I mean medium armor?
The mithril would
No,
allow him to
but-
go one step up.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, sweet boy.
So if you want, we could get you mithril armor too.
Okay,
Yeah,
Your
so
armor with a little displacer beast cape.
Yeah, that could work. And like maybe a hood, displacer beast hood and cape. Keep your head warm when it's raining.
I already have 20 pounds, so I only need 20 pounds more.
yep. So if you provide 20 pounds of mithril, they would cover the rest of the materials. It would take them 4 days to do it on a rush order for 610, or a week to do it for 580.
So it's worth the extra 30 to get it done faster.
It's 4 days. That's around the time we'd be getting back anyway.
Yep. All right, I can do that.
All right. Then yeah, when you get back, they will have a set of Mithril half-plate for you.
Sick. All right, and then I can have Nomad put some stones in it.
Yeah.
Should I just keep track of my wild stones and not throw them on this page?
No, actually, it's well, okay, yes, but make sure to put in there that they are not on this page, and eventually I'm going to sort it out so that it's all like handled in one place.
Yeah. I have 4 stones that came out of like the Shul skull. They're not in this place, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, I know some of this we've already got covered. Like, I think I have all of Vasu's stones here. I think these are all Vasu's. But we'll sort that out at some point. I want to make sure that we get at least a little bit of not crafting done.
Okay, real quick,
yeah.
can I redo my compass so I get both my spells?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me see
that
how
roll.
long that will take.
Oh yeah, we should redo that compass. So it's not shit.
Oh wait, there's a lot of stones. It'll probably take longer than we have time for.
It's an hour per stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to take 10 consecutive hours. Nomad could do it. He would just need to either sleep in very late or take a level of exhaustion.
I'll
just
sleep
wait.
in late. I'll sleep in late. It's fine. I have nothing else to do.
Oh, so you're not going to do my crafting then?
Oh, we can do yours as well.
I can just wait. Just do his.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, I mean, your compass is probably more important since it's something you're used to using. And
I
really
mean, it's
sick.
one spell per long rest. I'll just live not using it once.
Don't you also lose the
Wait.
bonus of whichever way it's pointing?
No,
fair.
that's fixed. It's the extra spells that aren't fixed.
Oh, gotcha.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, it's working okay. So rather we do your quiver.
Yeah, so this may be ambitious.
All right. Tell me about your quiver.
It's good to have the ability to do 1 of 4 spells.
Okay.
Either let me teleport like 5 feet to where I shoot, cast silence on either the target or just the arrow, dispel magic, and then Volitical Sphere,
Okay.
which is
The-
I
as
think
in-
I think it's like 4, 2, 3, 4 spell wise. Yeah,
Yeah,
Volitical
vitriol.
spell. Yeah, it's that one.
That one, vitriolic.
Sound it out.
Okay.
I didn't have it. I was getting it from my memory, and my memory did not have the letters.
Okay.
All right. This is going to take. You're wanting to be able to do this once each per long rest.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Sure, or better if we get really lucky.
Sure. Okay.
If we get lucky.
You might be better off being able to pick one of those or 2 of those.
Yeah, I figured I could pick it. Like it wasn't random. It was like I chose which one it was, and I could either do it once per long rest, or
Yeah.
one of
The
them once per
idea-
day or something.
Yeah, the proof of concept of this is like it's a quiver, and the arrows you put in it are enchanted, so you can decide which enchantment's on it when you pull the arrow out. But then that enchantment disappears for a bit until the long rest.
Okay. So these are the stones that you would need to power each of those effects, in that order. With 1 stone, you'd be able to pull each of those arrows out once per long rest, once per week.
Cool. What are the volumes is the question.
By default, it is going to be that. You could potentially find or make them
16 for 4.
right. You could potentially find or make them more dense. For instance, you have a 414 over here, and 410 here. And as a reminder, colors, like, you can use the wrong colors. You just don't get your crafting bonus when you do the check.
Yeah.
Well, if need be, I can always remove one to make it a little bit easier to craft, since I don't think
Sure.
it'll fit in.
Yeah. The 4 ones are really really big.
Yeah, and we can just upgrade it later too, right?
Yep, so that would just get
Yeah,
rid of the
we could.
vitriolic sphere as an option.
Totally irrespective of any
The
crafting.
dimension door also.
The like type A side of my brain would never allow me to use the wrong colors for crafting. I
Right.
could not do it.
Yeah.
This is too
I'll
much of
just
a
slap
cost.
any old stones in here and get this effect. That's crazy.
Cost. OCD. Fuck off.
All right. So do you want to craft it with the just the first 3 stones? If you
Yeah.
have those.
We don't have them specifically. We're hoping the market does. The problem is, I
Black
believe they
ones
only
easier
have
to-
prismatic stones.
Yeah, they only
Yeah,
have
so there's
wild
only
stones
wild stones here.
here. With that said,
I mean, also a wild magic quiver sounds really fucking cool. We don't know what's going to happen to my target.
Does sound.
so you have your pink. You can merge these 2 blacks to make your black. Then you just need either cyan or white for 3C. It looks like you've got 2 cyans here that you could merge into a 2. These would merge
Vasu
into
was willing
another
to throw
2.
in a white to make up for some of the prismatics he was going to use.
Sure.
I think.
Tell you what.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Vasu has some level
yeah.
3 whites over here if he wanted to contribute.
Sure. Tell you what. I could spend tonight merging stones we need.
Yeah, alternatively, merging stones is pretty quick, and if you were to merge all of these, you would
15
have
minutes, right?
It's 10 minutes for each merge, and this would only be...
Oh, 10 minutes.
This would be a total of 40 minutes. You could merge all of these stones into your level 3 cyan stone.
Let me try it. Let's try it.
Alright, so that is going to be 4 total merges. We're just going to go left to right in this order, and then in the end we'll do the combinations. So, give me 4 checks.
Art of Tinker's Tools?
Tinker's Tools, Jeweler's Kit, either one. Ooh, one of those is beatable.
One of them is low. Aw.
Number 2. Hey!
Oh!
Hey,
That's actually a very valuable merge, too. Holy shit. And actually, let me go check. I think Nat 20 might always do it. Let me see.
What?
I think you
Good.
said
You're
it
the DM here.
does.
Merging stones. Ba, 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 ba. Successful. Cool. Oh, no, it doesn't. It does something else. Okay, so first of all, the first fail is not lucky, so you end up with a 2-4. Which is standard. The second one is successful, which means you end up with a 1-1. And then the last one is typical, so you end up with a 1-2, but it's prismatic.
Yay!
So now...
Kind of like shrugs, like, look what happened.
And then finally... Okay, so I'm going to interrupt the fourth one because you might want to change the fourth one. The fourth one would be to merge these 2 together. You have some options. You can either keep going with it, or, yeah, you can bring in this other compact one and try to make a super compact cyan stone. That could be potentially very valuable.
If anyone's okay with it.
yeah, I like that idea because if it
Do
failed,
it.
then you could use this other compact prismatic and use it instead.
Whoops. You accidentally deleted magic stone.
It was me. I didn't give it time to update before I deleted. There you go.
That's fair. Okay.
I think
We'll do it.
If you get a super compact one, I think that it might be worth holding off
Yeah,
selling
for sure. That's what.
Yeah,
we should-
that's fair.
and
Yeah,
then just swap it these other prismatics for it.
Yeah,
if
let's
this
try
is,
it.
if this is successful, this will be a 2-1, which is worth about 360 gold, almost $30,000.
Jesus.
That's not bad. Okay.
All right, here we go. You're trying to beat a...
Oh my god.
You can do it.
I did it!
All right, so you successfully made a 2-1, which is very valuable.
Looking up from the bench, just like, oh, this was unexpected.
So then maybe just pull in that that 2/3 prismatic, so Ace can still get his same.
Yeah,
gem.
maybe.
Alternatively, I think you could do this, but then it would be a coin flip whether it ends up cyan on the other side.
Well, we can't have that.
Okay.
I'm scared for the coin flip.
Do the coin flip.
So scary.
Don't do it.
I'll leave that to Ace.
Like, even-
It's a coin flip that it would just be pink or cyan.
Yeah, and even if it ends up pink, you can still use it for that spell.
I know.
It's not as
We do need a
nice.
pink stone anyway, right? I think.
Yeah, the pink
Or
stone
black.
over
No,
already.
we've got a pink stone already.
Yeah, we need a white or a cyan,
Yeah.
and then a black or pink.
Got the black and pink already pulled over there. So what you need now is a cyan and a white.
Assistant.
You're the craft master.
All right. Are you doing it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Shit, let's do it.
So first, give me the check to see if it's lucky merge. Trying to be. Wow, you're getting super lucky on these
God!
rolls.
Damn.
Oh! All right. So 1 is cyan, 2 is pink. Give me a D2. Oh,
Nice.
Even the one you wanted.
Yay!
So this becomes a 3/7 cyan. And just like that, you've got all your stones. Oh, except you have to merge those 2 black stones together.
Okay, let's merge the
So
black
yeah,
one.
one more check.
And you wanted a white one too, right? Still.
Do we need?
It was cyan or
Oh,
white.
Oh, cyan or white. Oh.
Okay, or white.
So it's
see.
typical.
Oh, that's too
Oh,
high.
There we go. Okay, I think that one will be a fail.
There's the, yeah, that's gonna be a fail.
I can do it.
It's prismatic though.
It is prismatic. Yeah.
Well, there goes her blacks. I'm sorry. I think it's a really good stone still. Should we hold on?
Are
to
these
this?
blacks not being used over here?
Those are great.
Those are great. I know it's
Those
hard
are
to
great.
tell.
It's not
Oh,
black.
okay, gotcha.
We could still use this prismatic though, if you
Choose
wish.
I have blacks down here, and I guess I'm not using mine for a while, so I could buy
Oh,
more.
Sure, we could trade this one.
This would be
because
like
it's better
at-
to
this
hold
would-
on.
This would be at capacity with that volume, though.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
it will.
It looks like Flick has
Just
a
use the
1/2,
prismatic.
and there's another 1/2 here, so you can merge those into a 2/4 black.
Sure, I can
Let's,
try.
let's see if I get another prismatic.
We weren't trying to get a prismatic this time.
That's a 59, so
Uh,
just roll to see if you get prismatic.
it's just. Yeah, let's see what happens, man.
Okay,
Nah.
not this time, thankfully. We're
Oh,
finally
that's
set.
the black one we need. This is exactly at.
No, it's a little bit low. It's beneath capacity. It's 19.
Yeah, that is
Put another
19.
stone in. We can put another. I don't think there's any like volume.
Make anything meaningful out of 2 more volume.
Yeah.
So should you just use this one then, since it's
No, because then I can't. Then it'll be harder to upgrade later.
We are getting low on lead.
Holy
We'll
shit.
have to buy more lead.
Possible.
Is that? I'm so glad somebody's keeping track. I assumed you had like an infinite supply somewhere.
Oh no, we're
We'll buy more lead. That's probably something we're gonna do next.
Someone get salt bowl.
I mean, when you upgrade it later, you could just put in a different black stone.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you really want that stone instead? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying that I'm 2 volume away from being able to put the black stone and 4 prismatic wild stones and then another wild stone. So
Notably,
the 2 volume.
if you did use that bigger black stone, it would make the radius of your silence a bit bigger.
If
All
you
right,
want the
that's
bigger
cool.
radius-
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So also, and I guess we can figure this out later. But like, would this be on target, or would it just be like in the area that it's cast in?
It would be at the target.
So it would be like it would. If I shot a wizard, it would just be he would be stuck in no matter where he went, silence.
Yes, it would. It would be the spell would target the target of your attack. So
I can only get so erect.
Yeah, you hit them with the arrow, they become silenced, and then it puts a silence on them.
the effects you want again? The first effect, first gem, the first stone is a teleport.
Yeah.
So what it does is
Yeah, the exact.
wherever the arrow hits.
Yep, he'll be able to. So basically, all of these are going to
Yeah.
work where you hit with an arrow, and then after the arrow hits or misses, you trigger the effect wherever the arrow is.
So like if I miss really bad, do I just like do I just like teleport like 600 feet away?
You would get to choose. Like none of these are going to force the effect to go off.
What's the fun in that?
But the exact strength and the exact mechanics of this is going to depend on your roll. Like if he rolls real shitty, then maybe you won't be able to do it optionally. So let's find out what the roll is. But yeah, let's see if we can get through this so we can at least get things moving a little bit.
Let's at least get one of these things done.
Right.
All right.
Should
So
get
give me
buffed
give me
because he like delayed his 4 aces.
Yeah, we'll get through the list here, but then let's
Oh, sorry,
get this going.
Vasu.
So go ahead and give me a toolkit check, whoever's making this.
Sure. Let me just use my inspiration on this. Unless Gale's helping, then I don't need to.
Oh,
Gale. Okay, thank you.
whatever gets us done quicker.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's awful. 15.
Thankfully, because Gale is helping, it is a minimum of a 10. So that is a 23 up to a 28, which means the item behaves as expected. I'll get you the details for that, but let me mark down that behaves as expected.
Thank you.
That was almost
Is
bad.
that like is that like a reliable talent?
Basically.
So he's helping. Advantage makes 23. 28.
Let's see, dispel. Okay, right, that was the third one. Okay, jumping down to Norda.
Okay, I have a couple questions. I've already typed them out. I'm not actually crafting anything right now. This is just so I can make notes of what stones to buy next time.
All right. Let's see, you have a Cloak of Protection, +1 AC and +1 to saves is...
Brown, right?
It will be brown, and it will be a level 4 stone to give +1 to saves and +1 to AC.
Okay, and these are items that I already have. I just don't have handouts, so I was just mostly curious what items
Gotcha.
are in them.
Yep, and that is the same thing for +2 AC. So each of those items probably has 4 level 4 brown stones in them, which means they're probably pretty costly. I don't remember what I charged for those or where you got them, but it's pretty good.
Vasu bought me the bracers, and the cloak was from Bastion, I think.
That makes
It
sense.
has it both for a long
Where did... Okay, hang on. I might be because that should be... Anyway, I think that sounds right, but I'll try to check that between sessions. That sounds expensive, though. What would it take to combine those two items into one thing that does +2 to AC and +1 to saves? The hard part is going to be finding stones that big, or that powerful, that are not too big, that are within their size limit. Because I'm assuming those are already at half their default volumes anyway, to fit them into like a 16 or maybe a 20. So once I work out the stones, I will try to get some numbers for you on that.
Okay, cool. No
And
rush on
then
that.
The other thing, 4 of the 3C stones and 4 of the 1C stones, yes, it would require an action, it would increase the damage, it would become attunement, and it would be a permanent thing. Correct.
Terrific. That's all I needed to know.
Alright, and then finally, jumping back to Vasu.
Okay, so this is just going back to crafting shit that I wanted to do earlier. Knowing now, in out of character, that it would take 4 of the same stone to do that, I would probably not try to combine the orange stones I had to make a level 3.
Yep, totally
So
reasonable.
that should, I think, then I should have
That
2 of
means-
those on hand before we I think I had 2 of those on hand, and there was 1 in the spear.
Correct. Yep, so you have
So
3 ready
3
to
of those.
go.
Yeah, so
then you
I'll
can
do
fill
3
the
of those, and then use 1 prismatic, and I'm just going to try to do that enchanting shit that I discussed earlier, and then hopefully we can be done with crafting. Sorry.
Fine,
All
perfect.
good.
Alright, that's a great check. Holy fuck.
Holy shit, Gale.
Good lord.
Can I
They're-
help all with Jules' kit? Not that he needs it.
He's already got advantage, yeah. It's okay. Honestly, it's a little flattering that people get lost in the crafting, but at the same time, I do want to make sure we get a little done.
We've been talking about all these things we wanted to craft for like several weeks, so
Yep.
just knock it
Yeah,
out.
we just
All
didn't
right.
have the resources to do it.
Uh,
Now it's here.
30 bumps up to 35. Holy fuck.
Better.
Okay, so I know you want something fiery. Do you have any particular cool flavor, or should I just make it a surprise?
I would just like some extra constant like fire damage, like as an added damage dice. But I really do also like the cone thing that it does. It's like a once per long rest right now, or no, it's not a cone, it's a line. Oh, it's a line or a cone. So like either of those kind of things would still be cool. But I'm mostly looking for like the extra added constant damage dice to it.
Okay, perfect. I will work
Surprise
with
me.
that. I will. I'll do a little surprising, but it'll be kind of similar to those effects.
Cool.
I'll get you guys cards, and I'll reveal those once they're ready. But for the sake of keeping things moving, let's assume that you guys have your cool new weapon, and you'll have them ready for whenever you need them. And let's jump over. You guys are able to rest for the night. Nomad has to kind of sleep in a little bit late because he stayed up late crafting, and so did Gale, and Vasi probably helped for a little bit of that too. So it's a little bit of a late start the next day, probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon before everybody's really up and going. But somebody give me 1d4 minus 1.
This happens in the Feywild too. Nice.
You guys get as much mana as you would normally get from 3 short rests.
Fuck.
Hooray, Warlock.
Does that mean I get 30 key?
No, it applies to only mana, unfortunately.
What if I also want to get like 16 rage points?
You might try the elemental plane of fire.
I'm gonna get 6 Warlock slots, thank you. Then it spills over and I only get 2.
I think the worst thing about being a warlock is that every day you feel the need to burn all your spells because they just go to waste if you don't.
Oh, I love that. I love the pressure to use.
Yeah, that was like Anu's entire thing. He's like, I have all these spells. Who wants to go to sleep and dream?
Don't die.
Sorry.
You're not actually here. I'm just pulling you over because it's a pretty map, and we're never gonna get to use it. So I'm gonna milk it for every
Did
ounce
we
it's
ever
worth.
try
It's
to use
really pretty though.
Did we ever try casting Remove Curse on Gale?
No.
Sure didn't.
I'm gonna cast Remove Curse on Gale with one of my slots yesterday.
It's funny that you should mention it. As everybody's kind of settling in for bed, and as Gale, dreary-eyed, is making his way over to bed, Gale just feels real sluggish. And when you kind of go over and like, oh, right, I've got a spell slot to burn. When you find Gale, he's really, like, cold to the touch. Colder than normal. And you kind of, you got dark vision, but you pop on a light so that you can take a closer look, and you can see that running down his back, covering his shoulder blades and a big portion of the middle of his back down to about the base of the spine, the yellow of his scales has gotten a little bit kind of darker and shinier, and has this almost metallic ring when you run your claws or your fingers down them. It appears that several of his scales have turned to gold.
Huh. Ding.
It's because he traded the gold for gold.
Oh, you're glowing. Gleaming.
Fortunately, when you cast Remove Curse, Flick, several of those golden scales seem to kind of recede.
Wait, I'm gonna try pulling them out first.
Alright, I mean, you grab one of these scales and just yank, I guess?
I don't know how the anatomy works. I just try to shimmy it out.
Okay, Gale, you feel this awful pinching pain in your back as Flick tries to wrestle free a perfectly healthy scale.
Like somebody trying to rip out your fingernail.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. That was the most violent spell that I have.
Nick,
If it doesn't come out super easy, I'll probably stop.
I was gonna say, it's probably closer to like pulling a nose hair that is fully ingrained.
It's still pretty terrible.
Oh, it's real terrible,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like they're eventually meant to come out, but not when they're healthy still.
I mean, is it really healthy if it's made out of gold back?
Yes.
You met Gale. He's still healthy currently. You know.
I mean, yes, but gold isn't healthy. It's a metal.
Iron's good for you. It's a metal.
Why don't I have any aggressive spells? Alright, Toto just starts
You-
yelling danger and growling. And I start screaming and roll
All
over.
right,
onto
all
my back.
right. Sorry, Gale. Your scales are looking a little weird. You know, like you have gold coins shoved in them.
Start kind of feeling around my back.
But here, I'm gonna try this. Like, you know, I can do this now. And then I'll cast Remove Curse.
Okay, I need to go check because I know there's a limit on it, and I think it was 1 hour.
Question is,
Wait, you can remove curses?
Yeah, after almost dying to curses 2 or 3 times, I decided I could probably know how to get rid of them.
Well, shit, man. Why?
I mean, you didn't tell me about it. I figured.
No, but you knew that the gold was cursed. Why didn't you remove the curse from the gold? we could have been rich.
Was
damn it, Flick.
Because I rolled a 4, that's why. I mean, you know,
Oh.
that makes sense, but
In retrospect, this should have been my first thing to do.
God.
I'm gonna take my bag of holding and I'm gonna dump out all 7,000 gold coins that I have. Like, you see this? I could have had 25 times this.
I mean, if you just asked me, I've removed curses on myself and no, I didn't. You were doing Spider-Man stuff.
Spider-Man stuff.
It was when he was climbing around the tower, shooting stuff in stealth mode while we were all climbing up
Right.
it.
Oh well.
It also doesn't necessarily work on stuff that's been cursed a long time. Like, the curse needs to be kind of fresh, otherwise I can't get it.
That's fair. Well, I appreciate the help. And I'll scoop my gold back into the bag of holding.
I mean, do you want to keep these gold scales, or do you want those gone?
I mean, I'd rather they were gone.
Okay, I'll try.
I mean, if I turn all gold, I won't be able to move.
Yeah, I imagine they're probably going to get heavy.
That too, and I'm not very strong.
Alright. With the remove curse, you do notice that several of the golden scales kind of recede. Probably the outer 1.5 inches or so. It does still leave a plate right around the center of his back, at the base of the neck, that is still gold, even after a remove curse. But it definitely has a visible effect. Gale can literally feel the weight being lifted off of his shoulders as they return to their normal yellow color.
What happens if I cast Remove Curse twice?
You cast it again, and the second time there isn't a significant change.
Still got a spot here I can't get.
Well, guess we'll have to move quickly.
Right, hopefully this doesn't take too long.
All right. Excellent. Delightful. Apart from that, when you wake up in the morning, Gale, you do feel or discover after a little inspection with Toto, a few more golden scales have kind of grown in, maybe another inch around that diameter. It hasn't gotten It's about to where it was when Flick cured you, but it is still a slow progression. You're still able to move just fine. It feels just a little heavy on your back. Apart from that, nobody wakes up with any weird shit going on. And you're able to kind of grab a little food and then start to set out, following the instructions that had been given to you by the Queen. And let me get a survival check from somebody to just follow those instructions and stay out of trouble and navigate the terrain. Easy peasy. Nordo's able to make quick work of it. And you're able to kind of follow this valley through this kind of snowy forest until eventually it breaks out into plain. And as you get farther and farther away, you do notice that the snow it kind of starts to get to that awful kind of brown slushy state near the end of winter when everything starts to melt and kind of mix with the mud and dirt and everything just is so drab and depressing. Until eventually you reach this series of plains that is just kind of dead grass and mud. It's real squishy and squelchy under your feet. It leaves these awful bog-like footsteps. It's real slow going, but thankfully Ace is able to kind of point out areas that are able to support your weight a little bit better and maintain your travel pace. And as the short travel day kind of comes to an end because of the late start, Nordo, go ahead.
Just a minor thing while we're kind of walking through this swampy land. I would like to kind of pull Gale aside a little bit. Hey, little dragon, something I want to talk to you about. You said, well, it's about all those eyes that you had that the Queen's going to get rid of for you. I was a little worried. You said that you felt like it was something you had to deal with yourself, or like you didn't want to burden all of us with it.
Well, you guys did quite explicitly warn me not to do it, so
I suppose that's true, but
I feel a little bit like this was my burden to bear.
still, we're all in this together. We're all friends, and ain't no sense in you carrying something like that by yourself. You should tell us about stuff like that when it happens. You know, we would have helped you. And when we all met, we were just a bunch of strangers in Laughing Jack's arena, and I think we all stuck together at first just because it was the safest thing and easier for us to get by that way. But I'd like to think there's a little more to it now. We're kind of family, or at least y'all are the closest family that I got. And if you do dumb shit and get yourself cursed, we're still going to be there for you. We're still family.
We are a union.
That we are.
Thanks,
Anyhow, I
Nordo.
guess I was like, next time something like that happens, just tell us. At least tell me. Keep your secret.
Okay. Flick was watching me sleep last night.
Oh, that was loud. Shit. Sorry, stream.
What
Was
was
he,
that?
Oh, you guys didn't
any
hear it.
idea why he was watching you sleep?
No idea, but he came in and he started pulling on my scales because I guess they're turning to gold now. Probably because I made that deal. Really, I probably should have given the queen the gold right before she was going to uncurse me.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about curses, but I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020.
I guess the quicker we find these here hags, the quicker we can get back there. I'll keep an eye on Flick for you, though. Make sure he doesn't do anything untoward.
Thanks.
Got your back, little dragon. He'll kind of pat your back and a bit of a metallic clang.
Also, quick apologies to stream. That ambient video I was pulling up was very, very loud. Sorry for the heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stream heard it.
Yeah,
We did.
stream just had their eardrums blown out, and I apologize. Anyway, you guys are able to make camp, kind of on the edge of this half-frozen slush, and everything goes okay. Somebody can roll a d4 minus 1 again for me.
Sweet, sweet rest.
Who rolled?
Gil rolled.
Gil.
So yeah, you guys are able to recover. Wait a second. Yeah, Gil rolled. Wait, Flick rolled first.
Gale rolled first.
I was rolling for something else.
Okay. Then unfortunately, you guys don't recover any mana tonight.
That one was also me for something
Oh,
else.
that was also you. Sorry. Then yeah, somebody can roll a d4 minus 1.
Gil rolled it up there. I think you rolled it too, unless that was for something else.
Those were both Flick.
Oh, that
was
was
earlier.
Flick.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Go for it.
Here.
I believe me. There. Oh my God! Twice in a row. Yeah, you guys recover as much mana as you would normally get from 3 short rests. God bless the
I should have
Feywild.
done some
Nice.
yesterday.
Excellent.
Full mana.
All right.
Full mana? Nomads at full mana? Has that ever happened?
Right.
2 nights in a row of three.
Yes, I do it, I
Yes.
guess. 6
This
short
is
rests
a
and 2
week
nights.
of.
You didn't
It's
want
like a
help me with my
hypercharge.
I want the rage so bad.
I'm going to take some sort of sleeping bag that puts me in the Feywild only when I'm asleep.
All right. When you guys wake up in the morning, you continue to push on, and as you do, it kind of changes from this just flat boreal slush into a full-out swamp. The weather gets a little warmer, although it's still pretty chilly, maybe mid-40s to upper 50s. There's this muddy slush that eventually gives way to murky water that is filled with grass. Even with Ace kind of guiding you guys through the easiest places to traverse, there's just, it's muddy and thick grass, and there are bugs and lizards and other just basic critters that kind of fill this entire area, as well as a lot of trees and plants that are animated and kind of unfriendly. There's a point where you guys start to make your way into this kind of glade-like area, and as soon as you start stepping through, just out of nowhere, whoever's in front, probably Norda, just feels a smack across his face as, like, just this willow tree just smacks you with its branches for no reason. And just every once in a while, like, the shit here is just, like, spiteful and mean, and it just kind of, like, it tries to grab onto you every once in a while. It's not a genuine danger, but, like, for Ace and for Gale, and, like, every once in a while, they'll get you real good by the ankles, and it's actually a little hard to pull free, and you'll have to stop and be like, no, let him go, or, you know, cut him free, or whatever. It's just this awful,
First time one of them
terrible
does that
environment.
is probably when I start casting the Speak with Animals.
Yeah. With Speak with Animals up, you can hear lots of bugs. The rest of you can hear this almost constant swarm of crickets and locusts and mosquitoes. But with Nordo up, he can hear this just murmur at all times. Thousands of voices, indistinct, until one of them eventually will fly over and it's like, oh, tasty food, 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 food! And then you feel a mosquito kind of land on your shoulder and have to swat at the side. Just this kind of unbearable swamp, filled with things that want to suck your blood and make you itch and slap you out of spite and entangle you. But all of this you take as a good sign because you have been warned of where you're headed and what it is like. And eventually, you come to a swamp that gives way to a stream. The water starts to all kind of flow a little bit faster. You have to move cautiously so that you don't get swept away, and eventually it narrows into a proper river, surrounded on either side by solid land, thankfully. Still wet and marshy and mushy, but enough that you can get some good footing on. Although the grass here, with every step down, the grass curls itself around your boot and your feet, or what, if you're wearing shoes, around the tops of your boots. And it tries to just grip you and hold on. And you have to, like, pull yourself free with every single step that you make. But as you kind of look down over one of these hills, good call. The bugs actually do tend to stay away from Gale and anybody that's staying close to Gale. You can hear lots of, like, repugnant noises, Nordo, as they get close. I'm like, oh, gross. What's wrong with them? It smells like death. It smells like vomit. It smells like, but not like the good vomit, like we normally eat, like bad vomit.
Oh, it is death. It's terrible poison. You don't want to come anywhere near any of us.
Oh, gross. I don't want to eat poison. And eventually the bugs leave you alone. The plants don't seem to mind. But eventually you come over a hill and look down into this kind of recessed, not quite a caldera. You don't see any signs of like an impact crater or anything, but just a bowl-like recess that is filled with swampy marsh that is being fed by this stream that kind of babbles down into it. And in the center of this marsh, you can see a very, very large willow tree that is just this kind of almost dead gray, these brownish leaves that are just barely holding on to what little bit of sunlight they can manage out here. And nestled underneath the shade of this enormous willow tree are 3 huts that match the description of what you had been told, where this trio of hags had made their coven. Ace, what's up?
Does my true sight see anything out of the ordinary?
With your true sight, it's 120-foot range, right?
Yep.
Every now and then you have been noticing just a stray pixie here and there will kind of snoop on you invisibly. Sometimes you are able to catch them and they kind of like realize they've been caught and they fly off. Other times you're able to play it cool. They don't realize that you're watching. I guess give me a perception check, actually. Yeah. Well, shit, there goes that. There are a couple of points where you actually notice that the pixies will get, like, real up close and start to, like, dig around in someone's pocket. And you're able to kind of, like, stay vigilant and stay on guard and swat them away every time one of them tries to, like, pilfer through somebody's shit. So let me just undo that. Perfect, okay.
Thank you for this item, Peck.
You're welcome. But yeah, apart from the occasional pixie, you haven't seen anything along the way that is super out of the ordinary, and you don't see anything down there, although it is a good couple hundred feet away still, so it might be out of your range.
Yeah.
Are there any critters about that are slightly more mobile than a bug that look like they maybe could get down there
Every
with
once in a
some
while,
convincing?
you come across snakes and frogs pretty frequently. There are a handful of crows that will occasionally kind of stop and watch. Mostly out of curiosity, but they are, you're able to hear them, and they seem to be rather intelligent for animals. You could potentially try to strike up a bargain with one of them.
I say I'll holler over to one of the crows, get some bird seed out of my pouch. It's like, hey, you mind doing me a favor? Exchange for some food?
Maybe. Give me either persuasion or animal handling. I don't know, man. We don't go down there very often. It's, they like to eat us. They like to eat anything that'll go down there.
Who's they? Something nasty live down there?
Yeah, all sorts of nasty. They, the 3 witches, and then they've got their weird beastie with lots of heads, and, honestly, even the little glass cat thing is kind of a pain.
Understood. Wouldn't want you to get yourself in any trouble. Thanks for the information. I'll toss them over some of the birdseed.
Oh, thank you. Watch your eyes. They really like your eyes. Or at least our eyes.
Well, sounds like there's some sort of many-headed beastie that lives down here with the hags, and watch your eyes, apparently. They like eyes.
With that said, from up here anyway, there are no immediate signs of any sort of life down there, apart from the tree and some occasional frogs and mosquitoes and things like that.
So I know you said no immediate signs, but can I do like a careful look down there and see if I see any movement?
Sure, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Boy.
Yeah, you sit and watch for a good 10, 15 minutes or so. And apart from, little frogs and bugs, you do spot a snake at one point that is kind of just slithering its way through the water. But definitely no signs of, like, a big old thing. No signs of, hags. You don't hear anything. Ace, what's up?
While he starts doing that, I pull out the spyglass and also take a look,
Sure.
so I can get a nice close-up look.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I forget what that does. Does it give us anything special, like advantage or anything?
It definitely gives you longer range. I think it probably also gives you advantage.
I'll just roll with advantage, and then you can decide.
Hey,
Not that it mattered.
Yeah, same deal. It's almost too close for your spyglass to be helpful here. You are able to zoom way in and see lots of details, but it's just like you're scoping out just a tiny little area at a time through the lens. The only thing you're really able to
I like
see...
to imagine.
Okay.
Sorry. I was like, I like to imagine that I instead just pulled it up and smacked myself in the monocle with it because I used using that eye.
Yeah.
And just like hurt my eyes for a second so I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, the only thing that you're really able to make out with an 11 over a 10 is that the huts are very still. There's no signs of movement inside there. There's also no lights coming from inside the huts. And you do see that each of the huts has like a little bit of a hearth with a chimney that comes out, and none of the chimneys are smoking. So, that's all you're able to find.
Can I cast invisibility at 3rd level on myself and Toto and try and sneak down there?
Absolutely. Can you upcast invisibility?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what is the lighting here? Is it dark or is it dim light?
It is. It's lighter than dim light. It is technically daylight. It's just kind of a murky, overcast day. You're right. You can't upcast invisibility. There was something. Oh, it was haste that we were mistaken about over in IDT.
Yeah, turns out you can't upcast it.
All right. Yeah.
Then it turns out sorcerers can with Twin.
So you are able to turn yourself and Toto invisible, and you can kind of start to slink your way down there if you'd like. You do notice, because you are smart and have good passive investigation, and also it's just really obvious. In the murky environment, you're definitely going to leave at least footprints, but it is still much better than not having, than just walking down totally visible. But go ahead and give me a couple of stealth checks. With advantage, because the invisibility. Ooh, good. Ooh. Toto's doing great.
For what it's worth, I'm riding Toto.
Yeah, that's true. So no footprints from you, actually. That actually does matter. Okay, excellent. So Toto begins to kind of slink down with you on his back. And you are able to kind of start scoping the area out, and nothing seems to react right away. Let me pull you over.
Alright, when I get up to one of the huts, I'm going to try and creep around to the back of it.
Alright, you're able to kind of creep around to the back side of this hut on Toto.
Oh, are these things on stilts?
They are. There's a little like stairway that goes up to each one to keep it out of the murky water. The water here is about a foot deep.
How high is it raised up?
It's only about maybe 3 or 4 feet above the water.
Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna go under the hut with Toto.
Okay.
And then he's gonna get up on his back paws, and he's gonna use the maze eye to open a hole in the floor. And I'm gonna climb in and try and find this bell.
Okay, excellent. Love it. So you kind of get up under this thing, and then you use the maze eye, and sure enough, a hole opens up, and you can see up there is sort of this just kind of flimsy wooden roof. You can see the rafters of it. There's dust and cobwebs, like it has been poorly maintained for quite some time. And as you poke your head up, you can actually see that the hole has kind of cut itself through a bed and kind of all the way up and out of it. Looking around, you do see that there is a small bed, probably just big enough for one. There's a dresser up to the north, and then a little, it looks like just a wastebasket next to the dresser.
Can I try and search the room?
Absolutely. Go and give me an investigation check. You take a pretty good look around. You can tell that this is, although very poorly kept, it has been lived in frequently and recently. Somebody has probably been here in the past few days. It looks like it is, at least maintained to some degree. The bed is very plain, drab colors, reasonably comfortable, but very dirty. You start to go through some of the dresser drawers, and you find that it is mostly clothing until you get to the bottom drawer. And then you find that there is a lockbox made of metal, as well as a couple of books on the arcane, specifically on necromancy. And then there is a silver key.
I will take the necromancy books and the silver key.
Excellent.
And the lockbox?
And lockbox.
All right, excellent. You have acquired all of those things.
All right. I will jump back through the hole and get back on Toto, and then for now, I'll head back up to the group.
All right. What is your passive perception?
10.
Perfect. All right, you're able to make it back to the group just fine.
Toto's 14.
Toto, as he's waiting down, would probably look around a little bit, and he might notice that there is just a tiny bit of light pouring out of a hole in the side of the tree over here, like an archway or a doorway carved into this tree.
Okay, I'll creep over and see if I can look inside.
You creep over and kind of over to the tree and up into the arch. And inside you can see what appears to be kind of a large shared living space. There is a table with a handful of chairs around it. There is a meal prep area with a little stove, a furnace, and a cauldron next to it. There's a rack on the north side that contains lots of dried herbs, but also lots of weird animal parts. There are jars filled with eyeballs. There are frogs that have kind of been pinned to a board. Some bats that are hanging upside down. Just a collection of grotesque and unusual parts, including some hands that look like elven hands, and tongues that look roughly human-sized. But then you can see that at the far back side of the room, there's a trunk or a dresser of some sort, and curled up in a little ball on top of that trunk or dresser is a creature that looks vaguely familiar to you, but different from the one that you saw. It is a cat-like creature with a couple of wings that is made of this strange kind of prismatic glass. But the glass is dark, like obsidian. You can still see through it, kind of barely, but it's just very dark and smoky compared to the one that you saw before, which was almost diamond-like and clear and pristine. And it is currently just curled up with its head resting on its legs. It's in the standard cat curl bun position, and it seems to just be sleeping on top of that dresser.
Alright, I'll slink back to the group.
All right. You're able to make it back to the group just fine, kind of up the hill, about a couple 100 feet away.
I'll keep an eye out for more invisible things to see if he's like. I guess I can see him when he gets 120 feet away from me, but looking for things around the area.
Sure. Give me a perception check. Cool. Yeah, Gil's able to make it up just fine, and if he wants, he can show what he got.
I will give Ace the lockbox and the key. Tell him I haven't opened it. I don't know if it's trapped or anything, so should probably.
I'll investigate it.
There's a big room inside the tree, and there's one of those cat things in there. I also found these books, and I'll give them to Flick because that seems up his alley vaguely.
What are these?
I think they're books on necromancy.
Oh, okay.
I'm imagining him holding it by like one cover, and the book's just like falling open. He's like, "What is this?"
Cover looks like the Look of the Dead from Evil Dead.
I was just like, oh, okay, I guess he gets
Here,
books.
no man. I think you would like these more than me.
Visibly
Did
perked
you
up.
just re-gift this in front of Gale? That's so rude.
I mean, no offense, Gale, but I've seen Nomad make a gross zombie thing more than once, so.
That's why I didn't want him to have these.
I thought you were to say I've seen books before.
I've seen books before, and these are books.
I'm gonna check this lockbox for traps, I guess.
All right, give me an investigation.
Concerned these books might be.
Wow,
cursed.
I am rolling so bad.
Yeah, it looks normal.
Unless I can use my magnifying glass.
Here, do you want me to do it?
The magnifying glass does let you look for like tiny details and things, so you could use that for advantage. Okay. You look it over real carefully. It looks like just an old, worn tin lockbox. There's not a whole lot to it, and not a lot of places where traps could be hidden. It seems okay. In fact, it doesn't even look locked to you.
Should I open it?
It's not locked.
Well, I'm holding it, unless you just like interpose yourself between us.
I mean, you were taking a long time and just open it.
Checking for traps. Also, there's a key right here.
That would also be good to know. It's fine.
Notably, with that investigation check, the key is much too large for this lockbox.
Well, I obviously just pry it open with the key, like a good thief. No, I'm kidding. Flick seems really adamant about unlocking it, so I'll let him thieves tools it out.
Probably sticks his tools in it, then realizes it's unlocked and just opens it.
Oh, is it unlocked?
It is.
Huh.
You're the investigator.
See, I'm so fast, I just looked at it and it unlocked.
I mean,
Skip
I'm-
it out.
Alright, I guess I'll open it up
Get
and
good.
see if it explodes
good.
and kills me.
All right, you open it up, and sure enough, it does not explode and kill you. Inside, it contains a small assortment of coinage, which comes out to about 3 gold. It also contains a small vial that contains a white liquid. It hums a little bit when you move it. You suspect that it's magical. And with just a taste or a quick identification, you will learn that it is a potion of lesser restoration.
Seems useful. Perhaps you should have one of the speedy boys hold on to this. Pasu?
Vasu or Nordo, I think.
So either one of us could hold on to it.
Well, Vasu's able to get if we are on different levels. Vasu is able to get to me,
Yeah,
but
say,
Maybe Shu should hold on to it.
I don't think he would give it up.
That's true.
I imagine as I say this, he like turns his head around and just shoots me a dirty look. Tries to swings out. All right, so did you see anyone else in there?
No, I didn't. Do you think I should check those other huts?
Well, the pixies are here, and they know we're here, so it's very highly likely that they already know we're here.
Notably, it's been a few hours since the last time the pixie messed with you.
We've been here for hours?
No, the pixies were messing with you as you were traveling.
Oh, I thought they were just like messing with us like 200 feet from the
No,
house.
No, that was while you were traveling, and it's been a while since they've done it.
Okay, so you were retconning that. Gotcha.
I was remembering that you could see invisibility at all times, so that you guys didn't have your gold stolen.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, guess it's a good idea. We'll just chill here, I guess.
All right, I'll take a look.
Perhaps. Well, the bell isn't here. This key should.
Does the key feel magical?
Sure. Good luck. I'm going to just. I'm identifying them. Is what I'm saying.
The key does not feel.
While Gale's going around.
Cool. The key does not seem to be magical. Nomad is able to identify that the vial is a vial of a potion of lesser restoration, and nothing else that you got is magical.
As Nomad starts to look like he's about to cast a spell, like, hold on, we don't want to be loud. We're trying to be stealthy, Nomad. Casting spells is quite loud.
Hundreds of feet away.
100 feet is about the opposite side of the baseball diamond.
Spell. It's fine.
You can definitely hear that somebody is talking if they're casting a spell from that far away. With that said, it's a fairly noisy environment. It might get lost in the sound. It's hard to say.
We also can just sip it, so.
Low, if you wish.
Stealth mission.
Alright. Gale makes his way back down.
But I'll go over there.
And where are you checking out next, Gale?
Middle hut.
Excellent. I suppose, or I assume you're doing the same technique?
Yeah.
Alright, you pop your head up through the middle. You find another bed. This time, another dresser that has a couple of empty shelves above it. And then a small trunk, and then a wastebasket. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Looking through, you find some clothing. Everything is real ratty and gross and dirty, like you would expect. The wastebasket doesn't have anything particularly useful in it. There is a key, a silver key that matches the other one that you found, just sitting on top of the top shelf of the dresser. And then the small trunk contains bones. Just bones of different varieties from animals, people. Hard to say for sure. Some of them still have a little bit of just like kind of meat bits left over on them, but it's mostly bone.
Well, we'll leave those there. I'll move over to the other hut.
Alright, one more investigation check. This time you find just a bed and a dresser. Looking through, this bed is kept a little bit nicer than the others, but still kind of dirty and ratty. You do see, at least in this one, that the rafters have been cleaned. There are no cobwebs that have built up. And you do see that there is a broom that is kind of resting next to the doorway. In the dresser, you find a lot of clothing, most of which is just a little bit nicer than what you found in the others, but still not great. It just looks like it maybe has been, prestoed clean every once in a while. You do find, however, that there is one more silver key in the bottom drawer of this dresser. And with this one, there is a velvet bag that seems to contain several knuckle bones. And it hums a little bit when you move it around.
Oh. I'm going to take out my crowbar. I'm just going to hook it under the bag and just carry it that way.
Alright, excellent. It's a minor feat of dexterity to do it. but you're able to kind of loop it through one of the drawstrings of the bag and just kind of carry it almost like oh my god, what's it called? It starts with a B. Bindle, almost like a bindle. And you're able to make your way back out with the bag.
And I'll take it back to the group and give it to Nomad.
All right.
I think this is magical bones.
Yes.
Anyways, I didn't see anybody down there other than the cat. I think we can go. I checked the huts and didn't find anything, so I think if the bell is here, it's going to be in the big tree area.
It's very
Well,
like
Also,
It's the
also
hags
found
might be
2 more
invisible.
keys.
Did you see any locks for them?
No, nothing seems locked.
We should be careful. The hags might be invisible like you were. Or are? So, question. So I have True Sight on, and I can see Gale because he's invisible, but do I know he's invisible?
Yeah, it's an obvious enough effect. You can see that there is kind of this weird translucence effect on him.
Gotcha. Well, I'll keep an eye out to see if maybe the hags are hiding. But we should proceed carefully, perhaps.
sure.
All right, you guys all going down as a group?
I reckon so. I'm keeping my eyes open for any many-headed creatures.
Excellent.
This is going to sound. I don't like. I'm going to suggest something that might sound a little harsh,
I was wondering if this would happen.
but do you guys think that maybe I should have Toto open up this part of the tree, and then all of you can just grab this cat and like break its neck? Like,
Seems like a good enough idea to me.
does it? It seems real cruel. Like, we don't even know if it's with the hags or evil.
It's just
Maybe.
a cat, ain't it?
Well, it's like one of those cats that talked to us earlier, so
Oh,
That-
I gotcha.
I feel
Yeah,
like
good.
maybe we should just kind of subdue it.
So I don't know about snapping the neck, but I can knock it out real quick. We can ask
That'd
some
be good.
questions later. Maybe on our side, as far as we know.
Yeah, I just like if it's like a guard dog, I don't want it waking up the whole household wherever they happen to be.
That crow I talked to earlier said he wasn't too big of a fan of it, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. Cats like eating birds.
All right. Whenever we get down there, I'll have Toto open up a hole there,
All right.
roughly where I saw that cat.
All right.
I have another option that might help.
No.
I could go over here, cast my hunter's mark on a bird, kill it. Then I could sneak to where I could see him through the doorway, perhaps. Move my hunter's mark onto him silently, and then just riddle him with arrows. Silent like.
You guys can all kind of make preparations however you'd like, and then we'll do a round of stealth checks to see whether or not this thing is surprised by it all.
I thought you were just knocking it out. If you put arrows in it, it's not going to knock it out.
I could non-lethally shoot it with arrows, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know how you non-lethally shoot a cat.
Well, I'm not very non-lethal, unfortunately.
It's not a whole lot of real estate that you can't just shoot.
Well, I'm still going to actually. I do go ahead and get further away, cast Hunter's Mark on a bird, and kill it. That way, when I do need to move my Hunter's Mark, I don't make any sound.
Sure. Give me just a survival
I?
check to make it official, but that should be easy.
Do I know from one of these weird cats that we talked to earlier? Is it a beast? Is this a beast?
You don't think so, because it is made almost entirely of like this weird glassy substance. You imagine it is probably either an elemental or fey.
Okay.
Ace, you actually scare away the closest birds, and the cawing kind of sets off this chain reaction of all the other birds like flitting away. I mean, you're in a swamp. You can find a frog and shoot a frog in the head. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So yes, you get
All right.
you get your hunter's mark up, but The downside is that you accidentally scare a flock of crows, which makes a bit of a hubbub.
Whoopsies.
Why don't we let the two monks knock this thing out, since they're real good at the punching.
I guess I'm good with animals. I can give it the old shush shush. And he cracks his knuckles to clarify.
Christ.
Pulls out a piano wire. Alright, yeah, I'll have to creep down there.
Alright, go and put yourselves where you want to be when you want to start putting this plan in motion.
Is this door open or no?
It is basically like a bead curtain. And the same
Is
is
it
true for all the
offering
huts.
cover? Is it offering cover? A sharpshooter cover?
It's not providing any cover, it's providing light obscurance, but you don't give a shit about that either.
Alright, I'll probably try to hide under this hut. Maybe?
Sure. Yeah, there's enough room under the huts for basically everyone to hide. Except some of the big ones. Maybe Nordo might have trouble, Vasi might have trouble. Nomad.
As I'm walking over there, do I see any of the hags being invisible just chilling?
You do not.
I don't really want to kill it, so
I'm just doing this just in case.
when it has a name, it's not just like Cranky Cat.
We don't know that.
I mean, it has a name tag on the collar, see?
Why are there two flicks?
There's two Gales, too.
There we go. I think it should be fixed now.
Okay.
And then, yeah, where's Nomad want to be? You going over there too?
I want to know the layout here. What is this over here?
A bead curtain that goes into this big tree.
Okay. And they're just gonna open the thing here and beat on the cat?
Sounds like that's the plan, is make a hole and snatch a cat real quick.
I'm hide under the stairs here.
Alright. Alright. Well, these are some stealth checks. Let's see.
Can I put poison on my fists?
I mean, yeah, you can. If it's contact poison, it would be a bad idea. If it is injury poison, it is still a pretty bad idea, but could potentially work.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
However, sales pitch. Turtles do have claws for their unarmed strikes.
Okay. Same deal. If it's contact poison, terrible idea. If it's injury poison, slightly better of an idea, but there's still a decent chance that that is going to like cause you some trouble.
Oh, drink the poison and then bite the cat.
Now we're talking.
Wonderful.
If it's venom, it won't do nothing to you.
It's flying serpent poison. I'm assuming that's injury.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, I could have just put the flying serpent on my bow, and then if I riddle with arrows, it would just be instantly
Killed.
stabilized.
Yeah.
No, it stabilizes it.
True.
Flying serpent instantly stabilizes when you go to 0, so you don't die.
I'm gonna use a bonus action to get proficiency in stealth.
Excellent.
And here's my stealth roll.
Oh my God,
As
did it not see
usual.
that?
I'm going to use my inspiration. Every single time I roll stealth, it's always a 1. It doesn't matter what proficiency is in it.
It's okay, man. Toto got a 5.
Still.
Well,
I don't know what Toto got.
Toto got a 5, but Hermione got a 4. So Hermione is going to be surprised. Gale, I will say that this whole thing starts off with Toto opening up a hole in the side of this thing, and that will start initiative, and Hermione will be surprised for it. But this is probably where we should pick up. It is almost midnight. We'll pick up with initiative
How
next
long
week.
could a cat battle take? Come on.
I mean, this is up to you guys. If you all want to keep going, we can keep going. I just know we
Yeah,
We went late last week, but
Human.
I'm down to go if you want to go.
I'd kind of like to be the party pooper and call it.
I was gonna say, I know some people do have to work and sleep at some point. Besides, we'll have Moat next week.
Yeah, let's call it
True.
for Cat.
We need
Murderin
Mo. We need
for
Mo
Mo-
for this.
You're not gonna be able to beat up a cat without Moat here.
We need Mo to lay on hands of the cat after accidentally murder it.
Woo! That'll also give me time, for the record, to get your fancy new weapons ready.
Perfect.
Cool.
Terrific.
Is Vasu awake even?
He passed out a while ago, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say. We just have to lure him back in with the promise of magic items and stones.
So I was perusing the necromancy books. What did I find out?
For you, it's almost a little primitive, and also misinformed. It is a lot of, it's a lot of bad